Hello, guys, and welcome back here as we start another year of the DPC, starting with one of the most hyped matches of the whole season. Probably the what's becoming the new El Clasico, as it's going to be Noping versus Beast Coast. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the old Noping, though. It's going to be the new Brazilian squad, so closer to what we were seeing for SG. But hey, if the performance at TI, or at least in the close qualifiers, was reflective of the whole team, they might actually be able to give Beast Coast a run for their money. We're going to have to see. Here joining me on the panel today is going to be Lacoste and Lyrical. What a nice alliterative panel, guys. Thank you for joining me today.
And Avo, too. Yeah, Lacoste, Lyrical, and Avo. It all works, right?
It works. It's been a while since I worked with Lyrical. When I first started casting, it was mostly Dakota and Lyrical after that. So we were just grinding together. And here we are right now on the panel for South America. Very hyped about it.
Yeah. How do you feel about this matchup, Lacoste? Are you excited about Noping? Do you have faith in them?
Not as much. Like when the first season started, they looked really good, but they just kept repeating what they know. They kept picking all the same heroes. Like they managed to beat Hokori. Then they lost to Apu Kings. Coming into that matchup, I felt like Noping had this momentum, and they're just picking the stuff that it works. But Apu, King of Kings, I didn't know much about the team. They're doing really good. They have some really strong individual plays, and also like as a team. So I was a bit first surprised when I saw them in action. So I think this loss for Noping is gonna cost them to maybe even get relegated if they lose this one to Beast Coast, or mess up the plan to go to the major. But because even the loss against Infamous, they had some really throwy plays. So before I looked at the play, I'm like, well, man, look at the Noping. I know some of these guys. I know that they can do well. I see the first game. I don't know if I was casting or paneling. I'm like, hell yeah, they're gonna be top contender. And then everything just fell apart pretty much.
Yeah. Do you echo that feeling, Lyrical? You worried for Noping a bit?
I'm a little bit more optimistic. And granted, some of that could be maybe because I didn't get to watch that match of theirs against Infamous as much.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that I'm looking at the rest of these sort of results and trying to piece together my belief on them. And you take down Akori at the start. Losing Apu King of Kings feels kind of bad, but then you sort of look at what the rest of this team has actually been looking like and how they've been performing. It's like, okay, well, maybe these guys are just actually better than we were originally giving them credit for, and Noping isn't as bad. But then when I see that, okay, they took a game off of Infamous, and granted, it's not necessarily the roster that you would expect, but I could see some shades there of maybe things coming together, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm an optimistic person by nature. I want to believe in these boys.
We can play the good cop, bad cop. I'll be a bit more realistic. I'll be more BM. Looking at the matchups that they still have to play, they need to play against Lava, and they need to play against SG. So that should be very interesting. They definitely need to win those two.
Yeah.
And their last match is going to be against Thunder Predator. Not an easy one. Definitely not an easy one. So if they lose this one to Beast Coast, they're gonna be 1-3, and that's definitely not the spot that you want to be in.
But if they win this one against
Beast
Coast, if that happens, hey, 2-2.
Okay, I realize now it went from good cop, bad cop to optimist, crazy optimist. I mean, I win the matchup against Beast Coast, not just one match, mind you, but the whole thing. Lyrical, if you're right, that would be huge for them.
This is not a prediction.
Yeah, that's a very bold prediction. In regards to Noping, I mean, the team is kind of new, you could argue, right? I compared them to SG because they still have the coach and the support duo, but they're not really that team at all. When it came to SG, they took a really long time to kind of come together. 2 whole seasons. So maybe Noping is just going on that long road again, right? Maybe it's a future project for them. Maybe Christmas was revitalizing. Maybe Lyrical is right. If they win against Beast Coast, though, I would be very surprised, Lyrical. I very, very surprised.
If they win, it's a 3-game series for sure. Okay. I've been really impressed by RDO. I think he knows how to play Dota. I think he could play for like some top tier teams that are also outside of South America, because he
Like
knows how to
Level
farm.
Up.
He knows when to join the fights. I've not been impressed by Analog. I think he has a lot of these like mistakes, especially in the laning stage, where he can easily get ran over. So they need to be able to protect him and play around him. Especially some of the plays that I've seen on the Storm Spirit, where he just completely miscalculates how much mana he needs for the zip, and it's by 1,000. Like it's 1,000. I'm not even talking about 200. I was like, what the hell's happening? But looking at some of the bans right now, it's not what happens in other regions. Like this is typical South America bans, I would say, because Brewmaster not popular. Viper, I don't see these bans in North America or EU West, not even EU East. Silencer, something that Beast Coast really loves to play as a position 5, as an offlane as well if necessary. There's so many good heroes left. Well, no ping, I can talk a lot. Like they're just, I'd say, one-dimensional in terms of picking, because they've been playing Io plus Luna plus Storm Spirit, combination of 3 heroes. Don't get me wrong, I really love it. Right. I just feel like the execution and missing out on the timings, because you need to know when to strike with these heroes. And in the first series that they played in DPC, they did really well with it, and then just crumbled.
Well, the one thing that's kind of crazy to me about this is the draft is coming very, very quickly. Holy moly. I was looking at, and in every other series, I'm pretty sure for the last 3 months, Beast Coast has banned IO or just not allowed it to be picked, basically. And like you said, No Ping, very well known for their IO play. Granted, it hasn't always been winning the most, but it's I don't know if it's just a sign of like Beast Coast saying we're not afraid of these guys as IO, we're gonna let them pick it, and we're just gonna beat them with their best strategy. But that's kind of what it looks like. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this Viper ban also says we want to protect K1 in the team fights, because that's most likely gonna be the target. Be annoying, like offlane Viper possibly, where he goes in and tries to dominate him in the lane, and just in the mid and late game fights use that ulti on him. Same goes for Brewmaster, I would say, where he, like, it's something that No Ping plays, and also he can disrupt team fights. So that there's going to be a lot of net worth on K1. If you take him out with Brewmaster Cyclone in the fights 2 times, that means a lot of their net worth is not being used.
Well, I like that point, actually, and especially if you're thinking of if you're thinking of K1 Bloodseeker, which is something he does love running a lot as well. Brew has the little Master Spell, also great against the Blood Rage. They want to secure his lane. It might have been the plan from the beginning. And Bloodseeker tends to really, really good against IO and partner. So maybe Lyrical, they're literally baiting it and saying, "Nope, and let's see if you're gonna run the same strat yet one more time," because it's already been countered. Infamous already did really well. They don't need to figure anything out anymore.
Well, and they're also, it's one of their most picked strats, and it's also one of their lowest win rate heroes. So,
because they only pick it and they keep losing. Like
exactly.
Lacoste said it well, right? It's supposed to be some kind of like a pocket strat to a degree, or something that you kind of break out in the right situations, and then just go, you know what? Every game is an IO game if you really try hard enough.
Yeah, I think
that. I was going to say that the flip side to that is that they haven't run Night Stalker yet. So maybe this is the thing that they're like, now's the time. We're going to throw in the little wrench in the socket. It's the Night Stalker. That's the answer.
Yeah, I feel like they've fallen into a trap that Beast Coast made for them, where they left IO in the pool, and then they decided to ban out Storm Spirit and Luna, something that No Ping paired up with IO. But No Ping decided to go with something different, as you said, Night Stalker. Big fan of the hero. I feel like it's underutilized and underpicked. I don't think it's necessarily good in this situation. I think Night Stalker is more of your 4th, even last pick type of a hero, where you see 2 supports who can't really do much and don't have any escape mechanism. You need someone to jump the back lines, and like they have no saves. I think Night Stalker is really good then, but against the Bloodseeker, he's really not that strong. Like Bloodseeker takes out most of his damage. What Night Stalker wants to do is be maneuverable in the fights, and Rupture completely stops that. So now with Bane IO, they have good ways to set things up for relocate with the Bane slow, like just Night Stalker coming out or flying from the trees. It's okay support duo, but you need some kind of a stun. I don't think Night Stalker, IO plus Bane work really well together, because what you want to rely on is Night Stalker ulti. So that means that during daytime, you can't play aggressively. That means the relocate plays are out, and also not be like Bane IO. It's not a aggressive support duo by any means. Like they're mostly focusing on the laning stage to do well because they're really strong laners. And now even one extra hero that can completely ruin Night Stalker, he goes in, gets Shadow Demon ulti, doesn't do anything. And it's also great save against Bane and the Fiend's Grip. I think this is the perfect pick for Beast Coast.
Yeah, this is a really, really nice one. And I think that the other issue that I kind of had, I mean, so again, the IO Night Stalker, it felt to me like maybe there's something there, but the thought in my back of my head was, okay, if this is the combo that you're going for, you need some other like pretty serious damage out of that other support, because you're not getting it from your 3 really, at least until, you know, Night Stalker either A goes for like the BKB blank route or tries to go into like a basher right click carry situation. Now with the Bane, it's like, who the hell's doing damage? You know, is it all on your mid that's going to be making all the moves?
They need some kind of a hyper carry, possibly. I mean, it's a very tough situation to pick considering they have Shadow Demon. So I would say something like a Sven to go in and just try to man up and deal damage, like hit a certain timing with Sven. But then again, you're playing against Shadow Demon, you're playing against Bloodseeker. I felt like the trap that they set for No Ping, and No Ping took the really hard bait here.
Listen, I need to pull back the curtain for a second for everybody.
Yeah, you do that.
Listen, all you folks out there listening in through your little ear holes. There's a trick that us panelists have when we go into these games, which is we look up this thing called Dota Buff. It's a magical place where you can find out all these things about these teams and what they pick. If you go to the Dota Buff right now for Beast Coast, the top 4 heroes in order that they play: Bloodseeker, Mars, Earthshaker, Shadow Demon. This is their most commonly picked draft, and they got all 4 of their best heroes right at the start. Like, I don't know, they're chilling. They're doing a really good time right now. Beast Coast super happy.
Wow. That is a wild stat, because I'm assuming you're including all the games, right?
No, I'm literally just sorry. Last 3 months. Sorry.
Last 3 months. Okay.
Exactly. No, not all time. That'd be crazy.
That would be like, what a coincidence, right? That all the games. The Bloodseeker is one of their staples always. That's why I'm surprised that Noping like even got shocked by this trap, because okay, maybe this is their strategy: win condition in the mid lane, some damage as well, not affected so much by Bloodseeker. I can't think of a single carry that doesn't die here. So
Night Stalker provides vision, runs in, and Tinker should do pew 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 from the backlines, but still they have no real stuns. And they can also, like, Beast Coast is very versatile with the heroes that they pick. They can have Earthshaker on the off lane, they can have Bloodseeker on the off lane, mid lane. They need a hero that can catch Tinker. So they can have Mars on the mid lane. There's so much stuff that they can flex. So they need something that can catch Tinker. So something like a Clockwork, even Spirit Breaker works well. Any of the spirits, I would say, that are left in the pool. Unfortunately, Storm Spirit is not there, but anything that can close the gap. A lot of these elusive heroes like Pocket Queen of Pain got banned out. So I want to see like what No Ping things is gonna be good. That's not a good, like, because Mars, Bloodseeker, Shadow Demon, Earthshaker, they don't deal well with the Tinker once he gets like 3 items. So that could be a bit problematic. That's why I want to see B-Scopes picking up something that deals well with Tinker, that provides any kind of vision, or that has like Spirit Breaker charge, or something maneuverable like any of the 2 spirits left in the pool.
I mean, traditionally it'd be like Zeus and Storm, right?
Yes.
Something like that.
Well, Zeus is kind of dead now, though, I think.
That's true.
I think you can sub Zeus for like one of the spirits, like Lacoste says. I want to ask you though, Gabe. I want to hear your optimistic outlook though, because you're the king of that. We just seen Noping deviate right from what we're talking about. They actually somewhat sidestep the trap, right, with his Tinker. They could change that. They can play like a temple carry. What options are you seeing here for Noping to like change his draft?
Let me just tell you, they've already done the change. This is the winning pick right here. This Tinker is going to do it. It completely flips the draft on its head, right? They're saying, oh, we think that we're going to go for like some super crazy hyper carry as this Invoker comes out. Nobody cares. Tinker's the one that's going to win. It makes the entire draft look different. Now, is that actually going to happen? I'm not so sure, but there's a chance, you know? Get one stun out of your hand. Go with that Sven that Lacoste was talking about. It'll be beautiful, I believe.
It's not a real response to Thinker. It's something that can get them like Spirit Vessel. It's also long range disruption. Bane's not gonna have a good time in this game. Like he can't use Fiend's Grip. Playing into Bloodseekers, Silence, Spear, Shadow Demon, the disruption, Fisher from long range distance to be able to stop it. Invoker. It's not a good Bane game. Like they need to focus on the laning stage. I want to see like also who plays 4, who plays 5 in this situation. I think if they want to put a bit more pressure and just seeing how they played so far in the DPC, I would say that's KJ IO.
Yeah, but I'm assuming it's going to be 4, right?
For the last
Not necessarily.
No, as in, like the IO is going to be a 4. I mean,
yeah.
Right? Or
I think Bane Night Stalker put more pressure than like Night Stalker IO. So if they want to try to ruin K1's game, I think that's a better choice for them.
Oh, I like this. Is this safe lane Kunkka then?
It's safe lane
think so.
Kunkka.
yeah.
I like that.
Good one, Lacoste. All right.
Yeah.
So why Gabe? Why do you like it?
So basically, my thought process here is that you need somebody that can be a good amount of damage in that mid game to like kind of inhabit sort of a similar role that like an Underlord would, like park somebody in a lane. RDO can kind of either like make a move over towards mid to like make sure that if there's a big gank that happens there, he's going to be a hard one to bring down and kill. You've got a potential where he can like make some action happen. It's just a hero that can do whatever they need it to do. He's going to be strong in the moment when a lot of the rest of those heroes are weak. He's strong when Night Stalker and Tinker are weak. So, and then Tinker feels like he's the real win condition here.
He is. They don't have the counter for Tinker, and they need to like not lose the lanes. Night Stalker, he is relatively strong laner, even though like you rely on the nighttime. But having Io and Bane, I think it also kind of stabilized the lane. Also, Kunkka is a really strong laner, especially with the X mark the spot where you can go back and. Yeah, I think this one should be interesting. More interesting, definitely, than I thought before, like, coming into the draft. Seeing the drafts, I'd say, without seeing the names, I think I would say that maybe No Ping even won the draft.
Oh, wow. Gabe, are you on the no pick trade here?
Listen, here's the thing. Lacoste told me earlier that he felt like Analog is the one that maybe is a little bit struggling potentially, or he has a little bit. So I'm hesitant because the game's on him. So this is his moment to step up and make it happen and redeem himself from
We're
before.
watching
I'm
you.
ready for it. I'm ready.
Well, all right. Gabe's ready. He's not. He's sitting on that fence. Let's see what happens as we get into game number 1. We move it on to our casters. It's going to be Seek and Strike and some other guy for Beast Coast versus Nopin.
That's right.
Hey,
We
Richie.
got some other guy here who like barely knows about Beast Coast. I don't even know where we got this guy. Pulled him out from some alley or something like that. Who knows?
But let me tell you,
welcome.
Chris Luck told me one night when I was sleeping with him in Kiev. No, that's it. There's no more to the story. He just talked to me all night. It was really nice. He tickled my ear with his wonderful whispers. It was great.
Oh, so Whisper was there as well, was he? Seems
No,
a little-
Whisper was just the one fanning us. It was really interesting setup. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually here to share things about Noping though, Richie. I'm here to give you some inside
Ah.
information on Noping. Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah.
The true subversion of expectations. Let's hear it.
I So Beast Coast told me that Noping is the kind of team that again, it was Bowie was talking about Noping a lot, and I got to meet King Jungles as well at TI a little bit. And as we get into the game, by the way, you don't have to. This story time does not require my face. Go into the game. Don't worry about it.
He doesn't want to be associated with his face to the words, you know. Yeah.
Noping. But Noping is the kind of team that we talked a lot about it in the draft, and I think they were my panel was cautiously optimistic. But they're the kind of team that's really looking to like rebuild themselves from the ground up. Manguso, which is their coach, is the same thing for SG, where like they have weekly meetings. They talk about all the mistakes they did. It's a very much a long-term project for them. When it comes to this team. And so some of the results might not be very reflective because they might be really just using this DPC as practice. And this is not an exaggeration. Like, they're not sucking because there's not an excuse, right, to them. They actually might be just trying to build up their team, and we might not be seeing Noping in full power. I think they're a long-term project when you get all these new players, including Monster and Analog, which are relatively young. And the idea behind this team might be to rebuild the team over and over again until they get into a strong second season, even strong third season, and then go to the major then. I don't think they have high hopes for doing well the first season, unfortunately, for the viewers.
I mean, yeah, that definitely...
That's what SG did, right? It's just so similar to SG, who sucked so hard in second season, and they found this way of building the team, which is not the best way to do it for short term. It takes like a lot of mental preparation. It takes way too much effort outside the game, but if it works for TI, and that's the goal.
Yeah, no, I was about to say that's. I was just flipping through my pages here because that sounds like pretty much almost one-to-one what another team. I think it's Noping right now currently are kind of going through, right, trying to get the confidence back and going through all that. Or not Noping, sorry, old Noping, which is
Thunder.
Thunder, yeah.
Yes. I mean, I would say maybe I don't know if that would be put in the same position. I think they're stronger. Maybe Lava would be in that position, like old Thunder. Yeah, I would put in that position. But in this case, it's more because the coach's style is that, right? Like, he is... Manguso's the kind of guy who wants to make sure that everyone's on the same page, that, like, everyone is constantly correcting their own errors. He's not looking for the easy wins, which is why the strategy of IO Luna is surprising. It might be a practicing strategy to force the IO every single time. Because by doing that, you always know what mistakes you made in the game, right? It's never the draft that's messing you up. It's like, this is how you play this draft. And you can really, really iterate on that like an AI.
Yeah, you're keeping it constant, you know, keeping the,
exactly.
The scientific method, right?
Yeah.
You control the wisp.
Yeah, Manguso actually used to be a scientist before this. Yeah, he was a mechanical
Is that so?
engineer. No, I made that up. I have no clue what he did before this.
I was gonna go because the mid lane mechanics are top tier. Right now, Analog doing pretty good. You see that transition? You see that segue?
No, it was awful. Because of Manguso's the coach. What is he teaching him to play Tinker? I don't understand. Analog, he's a 19-year-old kid. He's never gone to uni. He doesn't know anything about science. He just plays Tinker out of, it's all heart here for the Tinker player.
I feel like it normally is. Tinker is very much a heart player, isn't it? Not the item.
Yeah.
More like you love the hero, so you play it. Nice job. They're toggling the Nightmare top lane.
Yep.
It's gonna allow Whisper to easily escape there.
Whisper really intimidating with the voice lines, right? That laugh is a laugh, dude. That is one of the most famous streamers in Peru, and people absolutely love it. It's the biggest meme in the DPC right now.
I use it here all the time. Yeah,
it's scary, dude. You get that in you miss a deny, right? And then you throw the laugh. That's intimidation 101.
It's the mental damage, incalculable amounts. And speaking about incalculable amounts, we saw a Kunkka yesterday, right? It was Wish for Brame played in mid lane Kunkka.
King Jungles. Bottom. Ooh, King Jungles goes down. That was really easy, honestly. They just chased after him. It is Bloodseeker after all, so easy to set up with a Blood Right with Disruption, and Thirst just follows through.
Yeah, and that was level 1 Shadow Poison as well. Singer's just been kind of spamming these things out. Like they're made out of butter. Or I guess they're made out of butter means it's cheap now. But he's been just kind of buttering up the Wisp with these Shadow Poison stacks. And still level 1 Shadow Poison. Saving on to the third skill point now, rather. But we'll see what he wants to put that into. My question for you, though, is how many Daedalus is RDO going to build here on this safe line Kunkka? Do you expect?
None, I hope. I think especially with Tinker, like we talked about it in the draft, right? We had this wonderful panel. The host is especially good. They talked about the draft, and they were commenting on the fact that Tinker's the win condition right now. So I think Kunkka wants to play Space Creation. That means to me Armlet. You go for the Silver Edge usually, and or early BKB ideally, then into Silver Edge. And your goal is not to be this one-hit crit wonder, right? Your goal is to tank up. So AC is a good option. You can even go for the Heart or even Assange, Evans Halberd, right? But your goal shouldn't be to superpose the Tinker. Tinker is your one and only. They still haven't really dealt with him, so if you can abuse that well, he can honestly carry the game.
Yep, it's going to be all about vision as well, right? Playing between this Night Stalker ultimates, getting that nighttime vision, just kind of spamming out missiles. There's a gank coming bot lane, however, as they will set up two with the Blood Right. A great fissure is going to pop the Wisp. Monster finds himself on the other side of the fissure, so he's going to be allowed to leave.
I'm worried about the Night Stalker pickup though, because I think Bloodseeker destroys in this game, and you even have the Shadow Demon to boot, right? It's like the concern with the Rupture here as well is that he's really the best Rupture target by a long shot, unless you're rupturing the Tinker, which sometimes it's good, but you need someone to jump him. So he always is just the free Rupture. Like, he's gonna walk in first, you're gonna see him first. He's the highest HP hero, so Rupture's base damage is already pretty great, and then he moves around a lot. Hector is always going to rupture him and then get a free kill off him. And then the whole Tinker Night Stalker strat is kind of thrown away. And in case you don't have rupture for whatever reason, there's always Demonic Purge, another great way to cancel him. So I don't know how much impact he can have as a supposed Tinker enabler. I don't think he's that great this game.
That is true, but you know, to be fair, the Dark Ascension, the nighttime flying vision is pretty ridiculous, right? Even if he's kind of standing still, it's going to force Beast Coast well back and well away. Otherwise, Tinker is going to get all that vision. So,
sure.
You know, yeah, I agree. It's not going to be probably the run at you Night Stalker until he gets BKB and Blink Dagger and really tanks up, like Lyrical said in the panel. But, you know, he's still going to have a little bit of utility. Beast Coast would do well to still mine the gap when that ultimate is you know, ruptured or not. Just because, you know, Tinker, man. Tinker players, that's what they live for. They just want to refresh and spam W. Right.
The reality is I think that the Tinker is going to be... Like, how they deal with the Tinker is the real threat. And to a degree, what concerns me about this for Noping is that it's more of a Beast Coast versus Beast Coast game. Like, if they misplay into Tinker, it's up to them, right? It's not really something that Noping can force out because of the lack of stuns, except for, like, Bane. You know, Kunkka can somewhat do something in the early game. Once BKBs comes out, you're done. So...
Taking a Tinker.
Yeah,
he's TV down bottom.
Hector, what are you doing? Oh, he's being body blocked here, but he has enough thirst to get away. In fact, they even have Schofield coming in. Gojira now. Big Kaiju fan here.
Kaiju just means monster, right? Is Gojira one of, like... I know there's, like, Mothma, Godzilla.
Yeah, Gojira is like the original. He's Godzilla. So he's like the big... Yeah, Gojira is the Japanese name for Godzilla. So he's like the original Kaiju. Yeah. And Kaiju in popular culture refers to those kind of monsters more than anything, right? Like, you don't go and say, you know, like, if someone's really mean, you won't go and say he's a Kaiju.
But if someone, like, Echo slams you or, I don't know, is creating all this space, you might call him Gojira, right? Because look at him.
Yes.
Look at him go.
Yes, exactly. Look at all these military men trying to bring him down, but he's too good. He's too swift. Oh no, they caught him. Oh no, the weapons are strong enough.
Stinger just walks over. He's like, yeah, I was going to disrupt you, but actually I don't think I will.
Yeah, Monster for this game is like Bryan Cranston, right? He figured out the weak spot here for Gojira. He comes from a whole different country just to kill him. It's very apt.
Oh, goodness. Wait a second. Did he smile? I think he just cold snapped from low ground and gave up his ward. Okay, well, he didn't quite give it up. Whatever. He did it to interrupt the rearm, which, you know, it's a strat. 150 mana wasted right there.
Yeah. I don't know if he was thinking about the ward. Sometimes I think Chris does things without, like, thinking too much about the macro, right? And then he, like, gets back into the game. So or C Smile. I guess we should start calling him by his new name.
Yeah, C Smile. That's what I called him.
Yeah.
You're the one on a first name basis with him.
Yeah, it's C Smile so much longer, and I don't know how to shorten that. Is it Smile? Is it Mr. Smile? Right?
Mr.
I like
Smile.
Gojira though. I think Gojira is a wonderful name, not just
I
because
do like Gojira. Yeah, I do like Gojira as well. Meteor Hammer build for Whisper.
Oh, he loves this. He was the innovator of Mars Meteor Hammer. He was the first one to do it in a competitive game. Actually did it in TI very commonly. So I love this build. I think it's really good for Mars because nowadays you've seen the shift right in the offlane where you're seeing a lot of these like freebie offlaners where you take the tower no matter what because you're either Meteor Hammer or Helm of the Dominator. Mars can't really do that. Mars puts pressure in the offlane, but if you have an offlaner that can rotate and defend the tower, like say Tide for example, or Night Stalker actually fulfills that too, because he can rotate and kill Mars. If you don't have Arena, you really don't have many options. So, especially if you're against strong laners like Kunkka, if you're against an offlaner that can rotate like a Mars, sorry, as a Night Stalker, as I'm talking about this though.
He's just dead. Yeah.
They didn't go for Monster though.
Used Tether a little early there, but does dodge the silence, breaks the Tether. A little bit unfortunate there. Analog as well, scouted, farming a big old stack here. Singer's given chase. He needs probably more than one stack of the Shadow Poison, though, for the kill. 36 damage. Yeah, he's going to need a second as Analog continues to try and juke him over. But there's Gojira. Tumbler's toy or not, they will still find the kill.
And they're continuing to put pressure up top, right, without really sacrificing much. And it's difficult because Monster has nowhere to go. He's being destroyed in this lane due to the matchup, but he also can't go top to defend because Mars just does a Meteor Hammer. Now instead it's going to be Kunkka getting this kill. RDO with the Ghost Ship actually messes up the Nightmare there a little bit, but it's okay. RDO will get the kill and stop Whisper's constant siege. Important, however, this tier 1 will fall with one more Meteor Hammer hit, so it's not like they can save it for much longer. And Monster's not even close to taking the bottom tier 1.
So how does the Meteor Hammer build-up kind of differ from the... Because Mars, like you said, not really too much of a Helm builder, right? It doesn't really do that. But what he does do sometimes is go for the armlet. Hold that thought. Singer is just going to die here. Hector's actually going to rotate on over. They may even decide to contest this little stack that they have going on. Yeah, they can't defend it. Monster does have the ultimate ready. Analog as well, ready to spam some missiles. So they thought about it, and they will go for it. Arena of Blood is out, but so is the blood out from the rupture of Monster. The kill on the King Jungles comes first. Monster now slowed to a crawl. Here's all this disable you were talking about. They missed the hammer, but they still will be rewarded with the kill. And Analog only gets about a couple of salvos of missiles off, still basically full mana. Going to leave Theo Licor then in a bad spot as Whisper's already pinned him to the tree. You see Smile will lift him with a tornado and put him back down into the grave. Stack stolen and 3 free kills to boot, not to mention the ultimate used from No Ping. So Beast Coast, yeah, they're going to look immediately for an objective off of that.
Oh, Fissure almost caught Analog there.
Ooh.
Hey, you see Theo Licor, they're kind of desperately. He's like, I got double damage, guys. I'll bring him down. But it was, yeah, he's a level 5 bait. What are you going to accomplish there? You're asking about Whisper's build-up. I think the armlet build is inherently of a hero that wants to go in and tank, right? That's the whole point of the armlet build. If you notice, like Collapse's build, which was the guy who innovated that the most, he would always be at the right place, right time, always be the one like going in, and his arena was only secondary to the hero, right? Like he was more a big tank, and then on top of that, the threat of the arena would loom over the enemy team. And with this build, the arena is a much bigger part. Obviously, that's how you get kills. You have much more kill potential because you can actually Meteor Hammer once you spear someone to anything. So that's a big deal. And you're pretty great, especially at killing like squishy targets. So you're much more of a hunter, quote unquote. You have a much more initiation potential, and you also have a lot more push. So you are a bigger... Like, you're much better at proposing with this build than, say, with the armlet build. With the armlet, to a degree, you're a bit reactive because you lack initiation, so you're just kind of walking in and hope the enemy team engages on you and makes a misplay. This is much more a Beast Coast kind of game or kind of play where you know Hector is not going to do anything for the first 20 minutes but farm, so you need someone to actually make plays, and that's Whisper, obviously. Yeah,
and speaking of Hector's farm, I mean, he is farming away. Maelstrom, he's almost got maxed Blood Rage now, so his farm is going to continue exploding here, especially as he goes into the... Yasha, just a casual Yasha first. And
SNY always. Yeah, SNY always.
Okay, they actually catch Monster with an arena top. However, Whisper setting up for the kill will have it just with the right clicks alone. Connected on the Meteor Hammer, but they're fighting in the river. They get C-Smile and his courier.
No. I mean, there's the kill potential I talked about with Mars, right? Meteor Hammer plus the arena, and you got a great solo kill. However, C-Smile maybe a bit too overly aggressive. He is Quaz, Wex, Invoker. He's allowed to do these things. It's okay. But... ideally, you don't die, right? It will happen sometimes.
That was the Blink Dagger quote-unquote reveal on Tinker as well, as he now has that one finished. And Beast Coast are actually looking to defend this bottom tier 1 tower. They're going to get the disruption onto RDO. The Ulecor is going to... Well, he already used Fiend's Grip for that kill earlier. RDO gets the rum buff as he is hit with the Rupture. Monster as well showing up to fight. Tinker is going to be TPing on in, so get ready for a barrage of missiles. Here they come. Smile's going to eat the first salvo. So far, No Ping have managed to reset, and they've gotten through this Rupture, as well as getting through this Invoker a second time.
Yeah, I'd say. Remember what I told you? It's just Beast Coast versus Beast Coast. That was a good example of Beast Coast trumping Beast Coast. Really, that was like the Rupture against Kunkka. There's not much purpose to do that ever on Kunkka. I can understand the point on an IO, for example, on a Tinker. Again, if you can like actually go and run at him. But against the Kunkka, he has the Rump buff, so your actual Rupture residual damage won't be very high, especially at level 1, which is not very good. On top of that, he's just very tanky. He doesn't have to move very much. He's a good hero at holding his ground because he has a lot of area control, like Torrent and Ghost Ship. Don't Rupture. Even if you think you can kill, just don't Rupture, right? Unless you have an Arena combo ready to go in that very second, which you didn't because Arena was on cooldown, don't Rupture. And once that happens, leave. You know, you Ruptured him. Oh no, I clicked the wrong hero. Just leave.
Yep. Yeah, Chris Smile. C-Smile. C-Smile, Chris Smile, C-Smile. He
No,
ends up
it's
TPing
C-Smile.
in. Yeah, it takes a second death, which is going to end up hurting him a lot, right? Because he's now in this transitionary period where he's gone for the full Vessel, got this Midas in the quick buy, would like to, you know, farm this Midas, getting these kills with Vessel. You got some pretty tanky heroes, actually, that Vessel will shoot through, but really no chance. At the very least for Beast Coast, it is going to be the tower defended, as No Ping will not look to contest any further that bottom tier 1 tower.
I mean, this bottom tier 1, in general, the lack of push on No Ping is showing, and it's really good for Beast Coast that they at least still hold the map control to this degree. Whisper has to now try to maybe put more pressure into the mid if they could afford this, and they could even like drop bottom tier 1 for the mid tier 1. Now, though, it's the classic play where position 4 stays bottom, or the dead lane rather now. He dies to this, but he creates some space in the meanwhile. Maybe he doesn't even die because he's skull fueled. Oh, Echo Slam? He's still alive. It's the 2 supports versus the world for now. RDO will try to TP on this Nightmare. Gojira will die to the IO, and they will be able to get away. But only 2 supports sacrificed for this rotation, honestly. I'm surprised they didn't put more people in there. They actually had a lot of chances.
Yeah. Oh, nice X-Mark play there. They're going to bring back the Wisp and ensure that it's just going to be the 1-for-0 trade. Echo Slime used. No Ping now. They're going to be able to basically safely wait for this next Dark Ascension without having to fear too much this team fight coming from Beast Coast. Although, as I say that, they will smoke. That's because there's a Blink Dagger now ready for Whisper. Arena of Blood ready to go. They're going to head right into the triangle where No Ping themselves have smoked. Dabo, we're about to fight. Or not. Or not. Chris, his smoke is going to break, and he's going to keep on trucking.
Where No Ping themselves are set up. This is going to be the fight of your life, my friend.
This is huge. 2 freight trains on a track heading right towards each other. One has departed the station at 55 miles an hour. Oh, okay, there they go. They've gone. Okay.
Yeah, but you forgot a very key point here. One of the freight trains is Hispanic, so it will never reach the station. It's stuck in the middle. It's broken down. So that's what just happened, my friend.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, it never showed up on time. It didn't even show up. No one's even sure. They're not refunding the ticket money.
Oh, of course not. You know, in Spain, there's actually a rule that says if it's not 8 hours late, they don't refund you. And I'm like, what is this 8-hour massive margin? It's wild. Anyway.
For another meaty hammer, you'll have the tower.
Yep, he has Blink, actually. Yeah, that's good. The denial doesn't matter, right? It's all about taking the area. Oh, what a spear as well.
Yeah. Going to cost him the ward, as Whisper's going to be forced back. The fresh Observer ward, not going to matter too much, right? The early Roche threat from both teams is just meh. You know, basically requires a full 5-man wipe if they want to even consider Roche at this point. So, not too big a deal. For now, though, Hector is continuing to just farm up. He's got the BKB nearly finished, actually. He decided to... I think he's going to fight early, actually, because he's decided to hold off on finishing the Yasha for now in favor of getting this BKB online first.
I think that's the right option for the Bloodseeker this game. Usually you want BKB and Sanjay and Yasha, and because Hector is a god, he usually gets it by minute 20. That's like the ideal timing. 20, it's a very... the minute 20 mark for Bloodseeker has become kind of standard. It's very similar to like minute 15 for Anti-Mage, right? Like there's just certain timings for heroes that you expect a certain amount of itemization. And I think if you don't get the BKB by then, you do fall off pretty hard because you don't get to use your power spike then. So even though I'm a big fan of Bloodseeker's SNY, getting it and to secure it and then maybe going for SNY is, in my opinion, the right choice. And he's even going to consider Lincoln's afterwards, which is going to be pretty great against the Fiend's Grip. The only real threat against the Bloodseeker once he's BKB'd, right? He'll just run at the Tinker easily. Nightstalker does nothing. Kunkka does nothing against him because he can't chase after him. And Hector will be invulnerable once he gets that Lincoln's. A bit defensive build, though, for Hector.
Very quickly as well, Gojira now, he's been upgraded. Oh, okay, Hector's just going to BKB and just kill Theo Licor. All right, Hector, go off, King. I guess he really wanted to get that kill. He did not want to be nightmared.
Look, I'd rather you rupture the Bane than you rupture the Kunkka, so I'm happy with that one, honestly.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, fair enough, right? He's like, well, I committed rupture, might as well commit the BKB. Well, Gojira has been upgraded. He's got Blink Dagger as well now ready to go. I thought we were going to smoke and fight with this BKB, with this Blink, and actually they're still going to look for the fight.
Odd. Whisper being chased down after. There's the missile after missile after missile. Whisper has a Blink Dagger. Nice Tornado to disengage. Stinger near. Oh, the Echo Slam! They set up for this. Night Stalker's down together with King Jungles here. Gojira might die, but he's already used his ultimate, so he's happy to die here for the team. And the Spear actually hits Analog with a Blood Right, hitting him right afterwards, silencing him and destroying him. Beast Ghost will sack their supports, but in exchange, they'll get 2 cores and a freebie IO.
Yep. Big fight for them. No ping. They just end up taking this lopsided fight. You were surprised. I'm not sure what you were surprised by at the start of that fight. Maybe for how far Beast Coast was seemingly diving, for how far Whisper was going in. But it was all a bait, right? They knew they had the numbers.
No BKB on the Bloodseeker. I'd expect for you to play more defensively. You didn't have Rupture or BKB. You didn't have Arena. You had no ultimates. And they were like, you know what? It's a time. It's a time to fight.
That's true. I'd like to harken back to something that Lyrical said during the draft, which was, they really only have problems once Tinker has like 2 or 3 items. He's still farming up this Ag Scepter. Now, it'll likely be up by the time they fight next, unless Beast Coast just forced another fight right now, which, looking at their drawings on the map, they just might. But, this Tinker not yet fully online, just with the Blink Dagger. He's not really getting these spells out. He's just gotten Rearm level 2. So, he's still got room to grow here for No Ping. So I think Beast Coast actually doing a pretty good job kind of realizing this Tinker's not that big of a problem yet.
Yes. Yeah. I completely agree with that. I think that's a very good analysis. I think the Beast Coast is playing more aggressive than you'd expect them to, just because they know that Analog is not doing as well as he should be. They also don't see the Kunkka as a threat. Honestly, like, RDO has not have the impact I expect from a Kunkka carry. No. I don't know if it's RDO's fault. It is not the kind of hero I'd expect him on, to be honest, because he's a kind of like hyper carry player, right? He's the I'll carry your game, do not worry, with a TB style. I feel like his plays have been slightly on the defensive side. Like in that fight, right, in the triangle, you just canceled the Bloodseeker's BKB. All of a sudden, he's super vulnerable to the X or any sort of X combo, right? But he's not the one leading. It's IO Nightstalker. But why? They're the ones that are most vulnerable. If you Echo Slam the Kunkka, who cares, right? He has BKB. He also is Kunkka. He's super tanky. He should be the one leading and doing that role of an offlaner where you give vision by just existing. Where Nightstalker IO maybe are dealing with the backlines to a degree. But he was the later one. So
yeah, I get you. Nightstalker IO are kind of still with the ulti active, kind of just being this kind of buffer space, right? It gives Tinker the confidence that he's not going to be outflanked by a speedy Bloodseeker because you're going to see him coming. While the Kunkka gives you that frontline vision. And especially because Monster has not been having such a good game. I mean, he barely just has Echo Saber completed. This is going to increase his farming speed at the very least. But without BKB, he's incredibly vulnerable to basically everything that Beast Coast has to throw at him.
Yeah, in a usual match, I think that Soccer running at you is always perfect. But in this game, with so much disengaged, like Tornado, with the threat of the Echo Slam, which always going to threaten the IO and his partner, it's a bit rougher. The Olicota will die here to the Meteor Hammer. I think RDO needs to take that protagonist role of a tank much more, and he's not particularly doing that in the fights. I think his timing in the fights is the timing I would expect from a Sven or from a TB or Spectre, not from a Kunkka, right? And that maybe is more of a call to RDO's playstyle and the kind of heroes he usually plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're hitting something there, actually. Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty good because it's like something more like Kunkka's not really the same kind of hero where you come in with a god strength, you come in with a meta, you make a little bit of a difference, you continue farming with the rest of that ulti. He's got a combo and he's there to execute the combo.
Yep.
And now he's got BKB, so perhaps RDO can a little bit more confidently get this combo off. Most of the safe lane Kunkas I end up seeing, just taking a peek at the Dota 2 Pro Tracker builds for safe lane Kunkas, of which, by the way, he's played 40% of the time now, apparently, when he is picked.
It's kind of bonkers.
Yeah,
Russians really like it.
Yeah, as well as Carl. Hold that thought, they're fighting. They catch Hector
Carl.
into the Fiend's grip. Oh, in fact, Hector's just alone. Okay, there he goes. Singer's here for the save temporarily. Hector, he's going to get the BKB off, but so will RDO.
Manta.
Missiles continuing to come on in as RDO will now be ruptured, and a good fissure there is going to trap Whisper as well as keep RDO out of the fight. Whisper hit by the Torrent. A couple more missiles saved by the Glimmer Cape, though. He's going to be A-okay, and just a good save there by Stinger.
I want to hear the hot mic for that. You know how Beast Coast releases their team comms for a lot of games, and there's called the hot mic, right? I want to hear that for whatever happened, that fissure with Whisper, because he's like a very calm dude, but he will sometimes make the passive aggressive statement. Like I imagine him saying something like, "Oh yeah, thank you for that fissure. No, that's very nice. Thank you. No, I appreciate that."
Very good save. Nice job saving our carry.
yeah, he will say that, something like that. Yeah. He's not the kind to flame, but he will make a snide comment like that. It worked out though. It was really good. I think Hector's choice to go for Manta was also a really interesting one to get rid of the laser as well. So he always had that to avoid missiles and laser instead of the SMY. I don't think they want to kill a Tinker. I think they just want to take tower if possible.
Yeah. They're ready though. They're absolutely ready for a Tinker. Whisper says, "Excuse me, you're a shaker. You're in my way."
And he's like, "I'll block you. Don't make me block you again." See, it's really there's even infighting in Beast Coast. They're the only ones that can take their team down.
Yeah, I mean, this team, they've got it all, right? They've got the infighting, the drama, they've got the high-level plays, they've got the high-level throws. I mean, you know, it's great. It's a great team to watch. Great region. Unironically. SA Dota, some of the best.
I mean, the interactions between this team, right? We always call them sociopaths. I think they have very interesting personalities on Beast Coast. I bet you that when he fissured block, for example, the kind of thing that Schofield will say, because he doesn't speak very much, he would like probably quote a rap line because he loves rap battles. Something about stopping someone or you hit a wall or something. That's the kind of player that he is. That or he laughs. Yeah.
Interesting.
He does this a lot. Like they'll have a team discussion that's like very serious, you know? Like they could be having a team discussion about kicking a player, and he would quote a rap line, and they'd be like, "What? What does that mean?" Schofield is like, "I don't know. I just thought it sounded cool." And that's his contribution.
He's just here to drop some one-liners.
And they're good one-liners as well. Like they're like, ooh. The coach will usually say that he's the one with the coldest heart because he just destroys his self-esteem.
You know, that's funny. I thought for sure it might be like someone like Dark Mago in the SA scene who just has all of these, you know, reggaeton lyrics ready to go and lined up.
Yeah, but reggaeton is not clever. You know, reggaeton they're not clever lyrics. You know, whenever I meet people here in SCA and they listen to reggaeton, when we go to all salsa class and stuff, I always tell them, "You're very lucky you can't understand the lyrics. If you would not like to dance salsa if you understood the lyrics, especially as a woman, you would not like it."
Just want to make it clear, when you say we go to salsa class, that'd be you and your girlfriend and not me and you.
Just, no, it means me and you. No, you don't have to be ashamed about it. Also, I don't call you my girlfriend on stream, Richie, only privately. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we'll discuss that during our next ballroom dancing class then, shall we?
Yes. We have tango next Tuesday, don't forget. Anyway, I think Hector is also going to be going for that shard. He's one of the few Bloodseekers in carry that actually picks it up. Thank God. He thinks it's strong. That's why I'm a big fan of his Bloodseeker. And I think with this game, the shard will be a turning point between him and Kunkka. I will remind people that shard on Blood Rage does not break BKB. So if you have BKB activated, you don't get the extra damage on shard. In case people aren't aware, shard gives you 2% of the enemy's max HP as damage every hit. Does not pierce BKB, which means Kunkka will have like solid 8 seconds of not dying to Hector. But if you just kite him effectively like he's been doing until now, you wait out the BKB and you kill him afterwards. No big deal. You will even be able to rupture him once you have enough levels, and now you do, to kill the Kunkka.
Nice Sunstrike for the vision, as Theo Core is going to avoid that Spear of the Arena. However, it'll stop him in his tracks, and they're going to set up for a very easy kill onto him. Beast Coast happy with that. Might turn back for Roche, might look to continue pushing. There is a 25-minute wagon coming, but they're more interested in the threat for Roche.
Do they have any minus armor? They do not, right? No.
Well, they've got the Forge Spirits. Those count against Roche? Yes. Yeah, okay.
That
do they not?
Bloodseeker. I don't think they trigger a Melting Strike.
No, it's only hero armor. Okay.
I mean, they have Bloodseeker. He's decent. He's one of the better Roche heroes. Just because he farms so fast. It's not even really because of his spells, right? Like, Blood Rage is nice, but it's just like he farms so quickly that eventually
so
has way too many items. Yeah. He has Lincolns now, which is fantastic. So now he doesn't... They don't have to kill the Bane every single start of the fight, which they've been doing.
Yeah, he's kind of been this lone threat here. No longer. He actually almost ended up getting a contact earlier. Of course, they had the team to TP on in and rotate and save him. Monster nearly has BKB finished up here. Needs about another 800 gold. That's going to be a pretty big item for him. If he can get that by the time that Beast Coast come looking for high ground, I think no paying stand a pretty serious chance here. Not to mention this Ag Scepter finished for Analog. Like, the items are coming along for no ping. An item that will not be coming, however, is this Ag Scepter for Bane, Theolicor. You can dream. That one's not happening, unfortunately. Bane just does not farm.
Very, very tall order, especially because he didn't go for the shard either. He went for the Aetherland, so full greed on this build. And he will die, I think, once again. Just send the Forge Spirits? Sunstrike?
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow. What a calculation. And Hector's like, what are we doing? Just push. We have ages.
It's Silver Edge, and he's going to get a kill. Okay, nice.
Oh, but they're taking your towers, RDO. I think you ought to go back. Tinker's coming back in time, but Analog will be able to defend this. There's the axe. Montestal to dispel it. Here comes Monster, immediately ruptured. Lincolns.
Oh, they got Analog
himself. Oh, they did get him. Sunstrike on top of this. Hector comes back in. He wants to heal off Analog, but the IO heals him instead, and King Jungles sends Analog away. Hector will be able to outrun RDO, though. As C-Smile sets up the MP, they force the BKB and RDO. They're cutting his BKB now. There's no Mnemonic Purge anymore. Blood Right to protect Stinger. As he also disrupts himself to prevent the Torrent from hitting, but the Torrent's actually perfectly calculated into the laser using the vision from the Torrent. Well done. Hector doesn't want to fight this any longer. In comes Gojira, however. He does have the Echo Slam. They might want to re-engage this.
Yeah, they could, especially without BKB on RDO. They could basically 100-0 with a good stun. That Silver Edge. A bit of a surprise there to Gojira. But once again, this is the second time. I didn't comment on it the first time because it didn't matter. Oh, here goes C-Smile. They didn't let him get the kill onto the Tinker top lane. He was saved, I think, either by the God's Rebuke or the Spear, but he'll get the solo kill now as he rotates down bottom with the bots. Easily picks up the kill.
He was saved by the Relocate top.
Well, the Relocate came after the Sunstrike missed because someone pushed him.
What was that? What happened? They pushed him out, and that's why Sunstrike didn't hit, and then he survived because of that.
Yeah, well, and then he survived because Wisp healed him, right? Like the Wisp still was huge, but the Wisp, I think he had to wait for Tether to come back. It happened here as well, kind of where Hector's walking up to the high ground. They scouted him with Sunstrike and it almost hit him, and then Whisper pushed him with the spear, but it didn't matter because he was like 50 HP, and that time there was no Wisp to save him. And again.
Sorry, this is a very interesting conversation. So RDO said, server is bad, I don't know, freezing a lot. So obviously you guys understand that. And then Hector said, Steven was speak. I don't know what speak means in this context. I have no clue. Obviously C-Smile saying is they also have lag. And then Hector says, we're not worth anything, us Peruvians. I guess because he has lag. So yeah, there you go. Hector, disregarding Peruvians.
Is PS shorthand for pues?
Yes. Well, it's PIS, right? Because you're Peruvian, so you have to add it at the end of each sentence.
Okay, today I learned.
Yeah, pues is like the biggest verbal crutch the Peruvians have in their Spanish. They even say pe sometimes. They don't even say pues. That's how commonly they say it.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I could never figure that one out in my
pues as well for you English speakers, by the way.
Yes,
but it's how when Peruvian speakers use it, it's not necessarily well.
Answer. Okay, for now, Gojira's going to be slept. Whisper thinking about making the jump in with the Blink Dagger, BKB both ready to go, and he's going to do it. Bane down to the low ground, right next to Gojira, into the Sunstrike. This time, Whisper is not going to push him out. They've got the kill.
Yeah. You see, the Japanese kaiju is stronger than the American monster here.
Wait, which one's the American monster?
Well, the Night Stalker, whose name is a monster, and is American.
Oh, I mean, fair enough, I suppose.
He's also a Night Stalker. He's like the biggest monster I can imagine. Like, he's a true Bakemono.
Okay.
RDO.
Oh, on the hunt.
He's walking among three. Oh, he only got one.
Whoa, big lag.
Big lag, but Stinger will die. There's a Rupture as well here, I think, onto Monster. They gotta save him. Oh, there's the Blood Right, though. That's gonna kill King Jungles. Monster will die as well, fighting head-on with K1. It's not gonna be the wisest thing. There's this lag spike. He disconnects. Frez. It's frezzing for them.
Oh,
That's really unfortunate.
Good positioning by Analog. I actually don't know if they get him here. They can hit him. There's an arena. Okay, the arena is going to be the problem. Theolicor nearby with a Fiends group with a Nightmare. RDO has only X marks as well as his own BKB to try and stop anything from happening. I'm not sure what Invoker has. He might have Tornado. If he's got Tornado, Analog is for sure dead. But I think that's going to be... he still might be dead anyway. Gojira's just going to close the gap and enchant Totem him. Ooh, rough blink for Analog. I was going to commend him because had he been in front of this little buffer building, Whisper just turns around and spears him, if he has it, that is. But he might have gone one blink too deep. The very classic Tinker problem.
I think you just Yules, and I think you got him, honestly. I think Analog's dead. C-Smile has, I don't know if he has Cold Snap, probably not. But we'll see what RDO can do, though, because RDO can maybe prevent this. There's the Yules. Oh, Fiends Grip! And he's gets up the arena. Look at that, RDO from behind! Absolutely mashed him. Hector wants to kill to heal back up. He's not going to get it, however. Useless Nightmare. Celebration for Theolicor. C-Smile setting up the ice wall. RDO. He now been hit by the Spirit Vessel. That actually hurts a fair amount. They also have the Blood Rage with the Shard this time. But Analog's the real threat. They don't want to fight RDO. Well, they don't want to fight Analog particularly. There we go. They have Dust. C-Smile. Didn't expect this. He thought only supports could fight beside him. They even Nightmare.
The Nightmare. The TP from Theolicor. What a TP. He cut him off. Hector's completely alone. And
X?
Dare...
Oof, Lincoln saved him for a second. Monta style to divert the attention and using the illusions for more thirst damage. Oh my god, they almost killed Stinger as well with a Tidebringer. Stinger might die, but Demonic Purge is 100% going to get the Spain unless they heal him in time, and that was King Jungles coming in clutch. Well done.
Whew. All right, some nice back and forth Dota here, chasing them all the way from their tier 3 tower, which is no longer standing top lane, so still a somewhat successful push out from Beast Coast to the top tier 1, which is still standing for Beast Coast, and before everyone starts respawning. Nice TP there. A really, really well played fight from Theolicor, interrupting that arena, TP into the outpost, almost setting up for the kill there onto Hector. I suppose the second kill, right, because they did get his Aegis there in that siege. Really, really good fight for No Ping. Pretty decent hold, all things considered.
No, I think that was a bit of a mistake against my Peace Calls. Like, they overextended it pretty heavily. They had a bit of a pause braid thing, right? But after you pause, you're like, what was I even doing? Oh, but now they did catch a Tinker. Arena.
Okay, this time.
Send them flying. Meteor Hammer as well. Analog.
It's a Nightmare.
Do they have enough damage? They don't, actually. He's going to save himself for now. That's where the Echo Slam comes in. King Jungles dies immediately. Came to heal, instead just added Echo Slam damage.
Yeah, the creep wave as well ended up just running in there. They were trapped inside the arena along with everyone else, and they were very eager to get into battle, only to add something like 400 damage to that Echo Slam. Beast Coast now, there's blood in the water. They're on the chase, and we'll see how far they want to go. Monster and RDO a little bit too far, though. They will be able to get back up to the high ground at the very least. RDO's extremely tanky now, isn't he? He's got this full armlet, BKB, and now this full AC as well as the Titan Sliver. So he is pretty difficult to take down. Tinker's got buyback in 30 seconds. But I don't think this mid tower is going to last nearly that long. I suppose Tinker has buyback right now, but he's also going to be respawning in 30 seconds. Monster, they're going to make the jump to him. He's got BKB. He's going to activate it. RDO is going to get the cleave kill there onto Gojira. Immediately dead as Hector forces back Monster. The buyback now from Analog as well as Gojira as Hector's BKB is wearing off. He's going to be forced back as Whisper pops his. No arena for 20 seconds means he's just going to have to blink back. That's at least buyback forced from the Tinker.
Yeah, that's an uncharacteristic play by Beast Claw. So you saw discipline there, which is not very common. So I think that was the right play. Once you use your BKB there, Tinker's just scary. You don't have arena. You kind of need the arena to really initiate on Tinker properly. They got to kill Analog. Right? No longer is RDO the threat, but RDO's playing this, like, he's playing his position well now. Because he's just kind of surprising them with occasional quits on the back lines. He knows he's kind of unkillable and he's being ignored, so he just kind of tries to hit them with big Tidebringers, something that most Konkas don't have the privilege to be able to do. So his build is perfect as well, is what I suggested in the beginning. I think RDO is understanding his position finally. He's playing very comfortable in this late game.
Yeah, I think he's just on this kind of hero, at least the Kunkka, it's a very item-based hero, right? You just need the item, especially on a safe lane Kunkka where you're not getting a fast level 6. You're not going to be allowed to, rotate to a lane and get a free kill with a boat. That's just not happening because you're in a long lane sharing XP. So not really a hero that can play off of his normal kind of skills. unlike, you know, a Sven, unlike a TB, like we mentioned earlier. So I agree. I think he's coming in nicely to this Kunkka hero now. And Analog, after buying back as well, is starting to hurt a lot more. Aether Lens into BKB next for Analog. Now, he's just bought back, so he just needs the 600 gold, and he'll be purchasing that item basically immediately. So this item almost completed here as well for the Tinker. Ujira is on Roshan duty, one monster to another.
Yeah. He can sense it, right, when the Roshan Kaiju comes to life, right? I'm so excited that Bisco is a team of weebs. You know, C Smile is also a reference to One Piece, right? So it's just this team really gets you. Yeah.
Well, they might get you.
Let's just get anyone, right? Like to be honest, if you don't like One Piece, are you really a person? I'm not sure. I think C Smile transmits the feelings of Eiichiro Oda perfectly.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice little cleave there onto Hector.
You didn't understand what I said there. Just a bunch of weeb talk to you, huh?
I guess so. You know,
it's a reference to the smile fruits in the Odin arc, right? That's what it is.
The Odin arc, of course.
Yeah.
No, I think you know, Odin already had to gouge one of his eyes out. I think if you try and show me any more anime, I might have to do it to my other eye here, Avo.
What? I don't even know what that means.
Odin? The one-eyed Norse mythology man?
No, this is Odin, like the pot of soup that Japanese people like to eat. Like the vegetable soup. Yeah, Odin's different.
Hector is
BKB?
completely alone.
I don't think he cares. He just ruptured that stalker, and there's a TP from Whisper.
Yeah, they are going to do well to cancel that into the Fiend's grip. No one here to cancel the Fiend's grip, so Whisper's just dead. Rupture now ending. They've got plenty of vision. BKB active as well for Analog, and that's going to give him the confidence to go even further. Finally, a jump here onto the backlines for Monsters. He will chew through the support, Shadow Demon. The rest of Beast Coast have retreated behind their Tier 1 towers. This might be Roche. It's not up quite yet. Oh, there's going to be no Whisper for about 20 seconds when Roche does eventually respawn. So Odin is a bowl?
What? Odin is a vegetable broth. It's like a food, from Japan. Anyway, Noping. So I can tell you what the comms are like there for Beast Coast. Whisper was TPing on the maybe 4th second of the TP goes, guys, what's the plan? And Stinger goes, plan? Oh shit, you're TP. Because he wasn't there to save him from the Fiend's grip. He came way too late. I mean, wasn't even close. So I don't know what the plan there was if Mars gets caught. They have nothing else to cancel the Fiend's grip with Shadow Demon. Gojira wasn't that close either. I don't know. It was a very odd play. And Beast Coast are doing it. They're really really throwing. And Noping is getting a lot of chances here. The stronger the Tinker gets, the easier it becomes for Noping. It's not really the Kunkka they have to be afraid of or his tempo or whatever. Like Kunkka's done his job. It's now the Tinker is becoming a real threat. And Analog is scarier and scarier because they have nobody to just run at him like a Storm or an Ember or a Void Spirit.
Yeah, RDO, he's decided to take the Ghost Ship fleet, by the way. Gojira's blinked up here, so he has got no way back down unless the team comes in to save him. That's what Whisper intends to do with the blink on in. Oh my goodness, the hammer finds King Jungle's Echo Slam. That's going to finally be enough damage to get through King Jungle's. He got off the mech heal, though, for Monster. Allows him to live a bit longer. That's going to burn the duration of Hector's BKB as they force RDO outside of the Blood Right. Oh my goodness, the attack speed. They chew right through that first life as Theo Licor is going to be allowed to at least TP on in Analog, who blinks a second time. Couple buybacks now from Noping as RDO does manage. Yeah, at least, where is he? He's still fighting, is he? No, he's not.
No, he's going back. Hector just died here. They're going in now for Whisper. They send him back. Whisper has no BKB, so he's just vulnerable to RDO damage. Goodbye, Whisper. Noping might win this. These team fights are getting harder and harder. They're playing them really haphazardly. It's not very good for the lineup because they kind of want a more consistent team fight. But against Tinker and Kunkka, you don't really get that. Night Stalker is getting tankier, so he's not as vulnerable anymore.
It's his third item. Oh.
Yeah.
It's his third item for Tinker, right? All of a sudden, they just have such a hard time getting on top of him.
But just rupture Monster almost every single fight. And then just run at the Tinker. At this point, it's your only goal. I don't know how else you do this. You either, I mean, you can also go Cataclysm. That's the other option. You go Ags on the Invoker, and you always hope for like a good initiation by Whisper. It's not that unlikely considering, he's a good player. He just needs to spear someone to a wall. I don't think that you are in a position right now as Beast Coast to take any more of these engagements though. You will lose your lead.
Yeah, there's a Divine Rapier now for RDO, not to mention. So
That's
he's looking for these
huge.
big old crits. I don't know if he planned on this, because he decided to go for Ghost Ship Fleet instead for the talents. I thought for sure he was going to end up going for the Tidebringer cooldown. But I guess when you're playing, well, previously anyway, you were playing mostly around the Silver Edge guaranteed crit. I guess the Fleet makes a little bit more sense in the team fights.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
much better.
Oh, RDO.
He does see him. He does see him. There's the Yules. Oh, they take this. Oh my god. The fissure blocked him despite his BKP. That was a really good TP. You just needed to go.
Yeah. And off he goes.
And he revealed his rapier there, obviously. So they did see them. He just wants to fight head on, right? The Kunkka at this point is just becoming a nuisance. And as long as he fights head on, I don't think the Tidebringer cleave is that good of a talent. Or sorry, the Tidebringer cooldown.
Hold on.
Because like 2 seconds is whatever when you're already hitting. Because it doesn't deal that much extra damage anymore to their main target. That's your goal, right? The cleave is not a big deal because when you're carrying, you can't be worried about where you're positioned, right? As a Kunkka. So you just kind of cleave whatever you can. Obviously, yes, ideally you kill support or whatever, but it's hard to get the godlike Tidebringer unless you're really playing for it. So I think this is a better talent. Ghost Ship Fleet is always good. It's kind of broken talent, to be honest.
You just really like the Armadas, don't you?
I mean, you know, as a Spaniard, it's part of my contract. We had the Invincible Armada, so...
The Invincible against the
Only
High
lost
Seas
one
fleet
battle.
of Kunkka.
Only lost one battle. Yeah, what was the British captain called? Prince Sir
Trafalgar?
Francis
I don't know.
Bacon.
What was it?
Yeah, I think it was
listen,
Bacon.
dude.
who
I
did
don't know.
this.
I don't know British history. You're gonna have to miss me with that one. It's much like the anime discussion we just had. RDO though, he is basically an anime protagonist this game, isn't he? 10-0 and 8. You know, we were a little bit critical of not critical, right? But maybe critical. We'll just say critical. It's the easiest word to use of how he was playing the early game, right? Not really having
Francis
too much
Drake.
of an impact.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It was Sir Francis Drake. I'm sorry, another pirate turned into British admiral, not Bacon.
Ah, okay.
I apologize.
But RDO certainly, I mean, if they end up winning this game, he's going to be knighted by Noping. I mean, he's done an amazing job into the late game here, hasn't he? Especially now with this rapier. Game's kind of, you know, I think Lacoste and Lyrical was saying how this is mostly the Tinker's game, and I think for the first, 38 minutes, I completely agree with him. I think now RDO is going to be able to perhaps lighten the load here of the Tinker a bit. How did they kill him?
Yeah, I mean, with the shard is easy, right? But you have to really play this team fight properly. You have to really kite them properly. Oh, this is never good. When someone resumes the game. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like, I think RDO, because he's been doing his job so magnificently, Beast Coast has kind of forgotten to itemize against him. I think the shard should be enough on Bloodseeker, mind you, but they have to really kite his BKB. And they're struggling to pay attention to Monster and killing him, making sure he doesn't give vision to the Tinker. Killing the Tinker, because that's always been the biggest problem they're facing. And then also dealing with RDO halfway through. They don't have enough, really. That's why I thought Cataclysm might be good. Because at this point, I think their mind is being a bit overloaded. And I'm not saying this is a criticism to Beast Coast. I think it's common for humans, after all. And if you just eliminate one target immediately as the start of the fight with like a Cataclysm combo, all of a sudden the fight becomes much easier for you to play. Because either you kite the Kunkka, or you run at the Tinker, or Night Stalker exists, right? He doesn't do much.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for you to actually go and perform. You don't have to be worried about IO and Bane saves either, depending on what you kill.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. And well, C-Smile is building into this. I accept it for the Cataclysm quite soon. And level 25 talent now as well. Has not taken the surround sound Deafening Blast. He's gone for the Blast Wex Exhort passive effect. So plenty of move speed now here for Invoker. Quite zippy with these Wex Orbs, as there's the G and the unpause. So Aegis has already been claimed. The next Roche not up for at least another 4.5 minutes, up to 7.5.
I don't know if you wait for it. Honestly, if you're Beast Coast, you are losing steam pretty hard. It has to be Invoker, really. If you are waiting for this next Roche, just because you either think you can end it with the next Roche, which is fine, or alternatively you think that the Invoker is going to start to scale and match up for the lack. Because it's not like Bloodseeker has fallen off compared to the Kunkka, right? But Bloodseeker alone cannot outcarry a Kunkka and a Tinker. You need some help from the other cores. And Mars, because of the Meteor Hammer build, it's not very much a scaling core.
Axis delivered. Axis delivered. There's Cataclysm if they need it.
Okay, that's a big deal. It's a very big deal. They're disruption. Oh, Fiend Script into Hector. There's the Cataclysm. Hector's gonna die, though. That's it. That's a team fight done. Beast Ghost needs to retreat here. They only get 1 kill. It's on the Bane. It's not even good. C-Smile, immediate BKB, Ghost Walk retreat. They see him. They've dusted him. C-Smile's in trouble. He has a Deafening Blast still to at least create some more space against Monster. And actually, he might not be that screwed. He still has a Blink Dagger. They just canceled it for him, though. Took too long to use the Blink Dagger, and they punished him as a result. What a bad fight.
Yep. BKB, man. BKB on Bane means that they just have to get through him with the Cataclysm. It's just not enough damage. I think he just eats those 2 beams, and he's still channeling that Fiend's Grip, so Hector has got no save for himself. Oh, East Coast, they're going to lose 4. They only pick up the Bane, and that was the Cataclysm fight. You know, that's why I was so eager to mention it. I thought that was going to be the somewhat nail in the coffin here for No Ping, but once again, they just find Hector farming away.
Oof. Yeah, I don't... That team fight, like, if Hector gets BKB off, right, and then all of a sudden they've canceled his Lincolns for BKB, because you have nothing else to cancel Lincolns with, right, once he has BKB off?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, you don't. You can't cancel Lincolns with just BKB. So... Oh, Gojira? I don't know what that... Ah, nice. Good deal, Sutter. That was the play. So because of that, if you get BKB, you can't disrupt the target, right? So he has to make sure that he only gets BKB once the Lincolns has, like, as long as the Lincolns has not been popped. Otherwise, he's gonna die because he has no disruption to cancel that Fiend Script. And as you mentioned yourself, because of the Bane BKB, there's no other way to cancel that Fiend Script. So that was a little bit of a, I don't know, miscommunication or just a misplay in general. But again, this is the kind of Beast Coast where you go, are they gonna win the game? And then 60 minutes in, they somehow pull a miraculous play.
This is you know, this is where they like to be, right? They don't like winning with this big old net worth advantage, you know. What did Dota Plus say here at some stage, you know? 86%? No. We're underdogs, you know. Give us closer to a 50-50 line, and then we'll go for it.
Yeah, Beast Coast is the bane of any caster because you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going home early. Beast Coast versus a team that's bottom of the table. They should be able to beat them. And then 3 60-minute games, Beast Coast barely clutched it last second. You're like, well, how are you at the top of the table?
Yeah, Beast Coast 3-0 right now, so they could go 4-0 and tie themselves alongside for first with a win here. The Beast Coast also plays twice this week, so keep your eyes tuned onto the channel if you want to catch more exciting Beast Coast action. Because, ladies and gentlemen, like Avo was saying, this is just another day for them. This is just another game of Dota 2 for Beast Coast.
Yeah, they're very used to this at this point. I think they even have calls for these kind of plays. Oh, what did we rupture here? Hector is just going to fight RDO head-on. There's the Cataclysm as well. They do hit the Bane with a Cataclysm this time, and luckily no good Fiend Script, but they've still just stuck Hector down. They haven't been able to kill RDO just yet. Finally, they're going for him, and they managed to finish off the enemy carry with Night Stalker falling shortly after, as it's a really easy 2 for Hector, who was not disturbed by a pesky Bane this time. Well done.
King Jungles is unfortunately going to be scouted and killed, so he's not going to be able to make it out either. Disruption there for Stinger just to set up a little bit more. RDO buys back, and that's going to get Hector at least off of the high ground immediately. But perhaps unbeknownst to Beast Coast, he's the only one with buyback. No one else has it.
In case anyone was wondering, the line that Stinger used in the middle of that fight was, "What did I do to you, you crazy man? You madman? What did I do to you?" So pretty appropriate for the fact that they were trying to chase him for a while on that team fight and amounted to nothing, as they realized that neither him or Hector were killable.
And that's the difference in a fight where you get a Fiend's Grip off and a fight when you don't. Fiend's Grip on cooldown didn't hit anyone, at least didn't notice it hitting anyone.
Was it blocked by Lincolns?
It must have been either. I mean, because he has BKB, right? Nothing else would have canceled it. Like Fiend's Grip is one of those abilities. I mean, especially as a position 5 support, where you're like, I'm just going to use it. Like, even if I'm going to die to this Sunstruck, I just need to use it, buy my team a little bit of time. Hector now hold it down to the Rapier. RDO, he wants it back. The Shark's not going to hit, though, thanks to the BKB, as Hector is fighting right through him. But the Fiend's Grip, this time it's going to hit him. Canceled immediately, though, as Theo Licor still is going to allow Hector to recover his Divine Rapier. Cataclysm in the midst is only going to pick off the Bane, but he's got buyback. Smile on the run as Analog blinking after him is not going to be hit by that spear, but does not have the mana to give chase. Mega is pouring into the base here in favor of Beast Coast, but no ping. They're going to hold on and live to fight another day.
Sometimes I feel like Beast Coast sometimes makes the call of, shit, guys, we're winning. What? What's happening here? Just go, throw. Because, I mean, Divine Reaper used to take the base, fantastic, right? But you take the last lane of Rax and you go, why are you still fighting this, right? The standard play by the book would be leave and wait for the Mega Creeps to do their job and eventually hunt them down, keep the Rapier. But now you give him a potential chance for the Rapier. As a Kunkka, he heals the Mega Creeps nicely, so...
Do Roche, because he could be up by now. You know this, because you've got to guide you, you know? Like,
yep.
No. Rapier back into the hands of Kunkka. He's going to be renewed by this.
As well. 20 seconds to Roche.
15 seconds. Yeah, this would be third Roche, so Refresher or an Ag's Blessing. I think Refresher Shard would be probably preferred here for no ping if they can get their hands on it.
I mean, Ag's Blessing on Kunkka I can imagine being pretty strong too, to be honest. Or even Bane? Honestly? Considering how value Bane has been with those feed scripts. It is Ag's Blessing.
It is Axe Blessing. Yeah, I think this game, unfortunately, is just not that good. There's just a lot of AoE damage. Those illusions, they still take, what, 700% damage or something? Yeah. I mean, you got Shaker with Shard. He's going to clear those basically with one enchant
I think Torrenstorm is better. Because the question of him getting the Fiend script off has nothing to do with him being cancelled, right? It's more to do with the disruption being used.
Yeah, true.
You got a Refresher order on Hector. I love this with the Bloodseeker, double Rupture. Refresher is just kind of OP right now.
Yep. Speaking of Refreshers, he smiles. Has one. Hector, he's finished his as well. Now will be rewarded with 4 Ruptures if and when they take this Roche, because it looks pretty much guaranteed right now.
Yeah, I'm assuming they do give it to Hector here. Maybe Stinger, honestly.
I was about to say maybe Stinger.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shadow Demon's got one of the best Ags in the game, full stop.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's worth. Like, yeah, it's fun to do like 4 Ruptures, but also win the game, guys, please. It's there's only so many throws you can commit, and I'll still like you as a team, right?
Yep.
And the number apparently it's ever increasing.
Yeah, he's just always cutting a break. You know, Avo, he's always cutting breaks for people.
As a caster, I'm like, they only thrown 8 times this game, Richie. Like, usually 8 is fine.
Usually they lose the game, but here's the thing about Beast Coast is that they win, and how could you not root for a team like that?
Yeah. They're honestly their biggest obstacle. It's crazy to watch their games where you go, I don't think the enemy team did anything this game. It was just Beast Coast losing, Beast Coast winning, Beast Coast losing, and Noping existed for a large part of the game. They did the right plays, don't get me wrong, right? Especially RDO, I gotta commend. I think he played the Kunkka game really well. But at the end of the day, when the team fights went badly, it was Beast Coast making a important mistake, right?
Mm-hmm. Gojira's now got Wind Waker, best item, S-tier item for Aghanim's Lab, and perhaps even this game. As RDO, TPing on in. Hector, they're going to hit him with a Hex. Disruption there to save him. After the Torrent, there goes Stinger. He's going to break the Lincoln Sphere. There's a lot of damage onto RDO. Sunstrikes as well coming through from the Cataclysm. Saved briefly, however, as Analog trying to pump in a little bit more damage. Fiend's Grip is going to be there for Mars, but there's going to be Gojira there with the save to cancel it with the Wind Waker. C-Smile in the fight as the Fissure connecting onto 3, and there's the Echo Slime into the Refresh Cataclysm. Kata doesn't pick up any kills, though. King Jungle's still alive on the backlines. Whisper is going to be able to secure his life, however. Buying back, though, instantly is the Wisp, but in trouble is going to be Analog. He's going to have to buy back. Throne is under assault, however. They do have a Fortify to delay the game a little bit longer. Analog caught, trapped. Hector chewing right through him. Laser and the Hex buys him again more time, but Gojira right on top of him with a stun. They've got the kill, and that should be the game. Beast Coast, they're done. Get them out. 38-25, 50 minutes in, they're going to take game 1.
Yeah, what a performance. I think that you should be pretty happy about the game if you're Noping, honestly. I mean, at least in terms of progression, I feel like the team is doing much better in these last few games that we've been seeing. The only problem I'm seeing with this is that usually we see Beast Coast lose the lanes and then they win the game because they have superior team fight. It's hard to accept, but I think most teams, especially in SA, should just accept that Beast Coast is the best team fighting team in the region. Maybe Thunder Predator can go toe-to-toe with them. The rest of them, you're going to get outclassed in most team fights, right? And Noping did in many situations. So you losing the lanes particularly might not be the best of options. You literally had nothing to do this game as Noping. And that seemed to be one of their issues. The first 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the game, they didn't seem like a team. And then afterwards, they started playing really well, but you already gave a lot of lead to Beast Coast, which made these throws not seem so major because they already had a lead to work with, right? And that might not have been the best.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the panel talk about it as well, but I think it just comes down to they were expecting Monster to kind of be that front liner for him. He gets shut down in the lane because of this Bloodseeker pick, and RDO just doesn't step up when I think he might have should have, right? He probably should have stepped up a little bit there in those earlier team fights. Bringing the fight to Beast Coast, maybe not such a great idea, like you're saying, but, if you don't bring the fight to them for 30 minutes, Hector is going to farm up a Storm, and how do you fight him then?
Yep. I agree. I feel like Hector's Bloodseeker was very impressive this whole game. They figured out well with the Fiend script, right? And honestly, was a little weakness in the draft that Beast Coast hasn't really considered. But once they realized how they had to play these team fights and how Stinger had to be positioned, it seemed like it was a no-brainer afterwards. So it didn't seem like it struggled too much. I commend Noping though. I think RDO is really diversifying his strategy. I like him a lot. I think I like him more every single day, but not quite there yet. Not at the level of Beast Coast yet.
Yeah, it's a very high level of likeness for Beast Coast, at least for Ava Plus. High barrier to reach. But I do believe we're going to be throwing it back over to the panel, Ava. So without further ado, I'll let you break down that game a little bit more with Lacasse, Lyrical, and yourself.
Thank you for that throw, Richie. Appreciate that. We're here on panel. How did you guys get to witness that game? Did you, Lyrical? You were my biggest bandwagoner. You fell off at the end of the trap, but you believed in Noping through to the end.
No,
were you satisfied with the performance?
I bet on them, and I was wrong. I was somewhat satisfied. It was interesting. That felt like 2.5 games in a way. There was like the very first game, which was some really super clutch plays by Gojira that like completely was able to salvage it, and then they won that game. And then slowly they gave that game away to Noping, and then Noping took over, and Tinker started to be a boss, and things were trouble. And then there's just the half a game, which was the rapier shenanigans at the end. So I was relatively pleased with Noping. I think your point about RDO and sort of maybe not knowing exactly or not working with his play style in the mid game led to them being a little bit further behind than I would have wanted to see. But overall, I was pretty pleased with their performance.
I think it comes down to the laning stage where you have, Io and Bane, and you should not be losing the lane so much. And it also comes down to having Thinker and also Kunkka, who tend to farm the same place. They want to be inside the triangle, farm up the ancients. Tinker does not want to join fights early on that much, especially because your playmaker is the Night Stalker. It's not Kunkka in this game, so he needs to do stuff, and he got shut down in the laning stage. Also, matchup for him is really bad, playing into Shadow Demon, so he can't lock onto one target, and also getting either purged, demonic purged, or ruptured in a team fight, which kind of kills the whole strategy that they got. Like having Night Stalker running in, providing the vision for Tinker, and then Tinker just spamming the rockets, creating a lot of chaos on top of with Kunkka, and having a prolonged team fight with Aya relocates, X mark the spot possibly, and Bane with some saves. But I like how you described the game, where we kind of had 3 games being played in one game. Beast Coast, I know they're kind of a style where they tend to prolong the games, but I think it's a sign of weakness when you think about Beast Coast as a team, which is an international team. They can compete with any team in the world, and you can't afford to make mistakes like that. So I think playing like this should not be done by a team like a Beast Coast. They should definitely try to avoid stuff like this.
Specifically, this fight right there that we just saw, that was the biggest moment right there. Where I was like, oh my god, Noping are actually going to turn this back around, and they catch C Smile here, run him down in the trees afterwards. This was one of the things that I saw that I was like, this could actually work, is if you can get Night Stalker or some control onto that Shadow Demon, everything looks great. And when you see, all those best teams in the world play, it doesn't always end up happening. And I would include Beast Coast into that as far as their upper bound of their potential.
Yes,
they're definitely there.
That's why I'm saying it. Stuff like this should not happen. It's hard to close out the game especially if you play against Thinkers, so that's going to be a lot of spam. You don't have any kind of sustain. You don't have any kind of healing, so you can't reset other than the Spirit Vessel, and it's not enough considering how much damage Tinker does. So you need to be very careful how you approach it. maybe a couple of mistakes. Because in the end, I was like slightly worried, even though they had like 15k gold lead. Once they hit that Divine Rapier timing and Tinker getting big, you can hold it, hold fight around pretty much. If they had maybe one or two more big fights like they did with the good grip on a Bloodseeker so that he can deal damage, could have been a different game maybe.
Yeah. I do think though it boils down to what you're saying, Lacoste. Where like we saw the good Fiend script, and you're right to a degree, Gabe. That one of those was because of the Night Stalker, but the other one was just Stinger's not there, right? And that kind of fight is the fight where you go, well, should Beast Coast be doing these? Like the Mars TP to the Outpost, for example.
Yeah,
you watch that
one
and you
for
go.
sure.
Do you expect this from a TI caliber team? Probably not.
Right.
It's weird because we always say this about Beast Coast, and they always say that they can't. How are they going to practice being consistent? And they go internationally and they usually do well. And these are none of the mistakes they do there. And then the game against Alliance happens, and then it's back to this Beast Coast again. So it's hard. What's the progression from here? How do you improve as a team? This is your biggest Achilles heel, your inconsistency.
So one thing that really stands out to me is it actually reminds me of like old Virtus Pro a little bit in terms of the
like
struggles
top tier
that
Virtus Pro.
Yeah,
like
top
solo?
tier. Solo, Nolan, Pasha, like that range right there of games where it's like it was one of the more frustrating teams to watch because you just see how unbelievably talented they all are, and then it's like they aren't necessarily. I get the frustration also of like, how do we practice consistency? Because it's like, if you don't feel that pressure because you're always like, oh, we can always just look forward. TI is the real thing that we're thinking about. This is the big thing that we're working on. Then you can't feel that pressure. And so you can't practice for it. It's a tough situation to be in.
If you play like this for 9-10 months throughout the year, and then you play like one big tournament, or if you play like that, let's say 3 months, and then you play a major and you need to play differently, you need to have like different mentality coming into a game, how you're going to close them out. We're focusing like on the negative stuff because they won against No Ping, but seeing a Beast Coast, I'm never worried that they're not going to qualify considering how good they are. So I just want to see them improve stuff that I think a lot of people can see as a weakness and sometimes as their enemy. It feels like they're having so much fun, but at one point it has to stop if you want to get like top 4 at TI, let's say, which I think they're capable of doing. That's why I'm saying it.
Right.
Yeah. It's a proud dad here talking about Beast Coast, someone that knows they can do better, right?
Yeah.
This reminds me of an interview a long time ago that Hector did, where they were talking about what Beast Coast was missing, and it was a very controversial one in the Spanish scene because he said that they were missing like a coach, and they have a coach, so that was a bit offensive. But he said. He specifically called out a coach for Ego Boys called Ehorco, which you might have seen around the scene, and was very controversial. So the guy is like 1.5k. He's like Crusader or whatever that level is. He's not known for his analytical plays. And so when he clarified, he said, no. The thing about him is that he gives you discipline. He's like a drill sergeant. That's his style of coaching. He'll tell you play from 9 to like 12. You watch replays from 12 to 3. You need that discipline. And it seems like they might be still missing that idea of. It's not a fun game. It's a job at this point. If you want to win, you gotta kind of put the effort into developing that. So who knows? Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they need to get the guy from Full Metal Jacket to be part of their team.
At oh god, I know scene you're talking about. Yeah, with private files or whatever it is. I don't think that would be helpful if I'm going to be honest. Like,
oh, okay.
Bald old men yelling at you feels like it's not the way to go. Otherwise they could get Slacks or something to come do that.
I don't see that helping out, definitely. Like if Slack starts yelling at me, I would just, tell him to shut up and leave me alone. I'm trying to play my game.
Imagine it's not Slacks. Imagine it's like a well-respected member of your community, an elder, let's call him.
I mean, Slacks is a respected member of the community to a certain degree.
As a player,
listen, he got second at TI. All right,
that's true. Actually, that's true. That's more than Beast Coast. So,
if someone who's like outside of Dota, I think having a mental coach is a good thing to have. Like we've seen what OG can do, at the eyes when they have someone like, even without the mental coach, I would still think team like OG would do well, considering like how they prepare with their mentality. If you watch like through sites, I think teams that want to compete at the highest level definitely need to look into that. But to go back a bit to the game, I feel no ping. They need to focus on the lanes. They need to be able to like get more, not get stomped. Because I didn't feel they played Dota for the first 15-20 minutes, and you're also like missing out on the timing. Because like there is no relocate plays, nothing aggressively, nothing with the Night Stalker, a couple of kills here and there because Beast Coast, they tend to overextend, and you're also like you don't expect that much damage coming out from Tinker. I just feel RDO played a really good game. You guys maybe disagreed to one extent where you felt like he needed to join the fights a bit early on, but I've praised him before the game, and after seeing him play the game, it's not up to him to go and be active as Kunkka as so much, because I think Tinker, as we said, is their win condition. So they needed to play around Tinker, but also it comes down to having two supports who are more like lane focused, and they don't do so much like post 15 minutes. Io also doesn't have a partner. Like Io doesn't have a hero to play in this game. Also, if you noticed, he was playing with the Night Stalker, and it also means like it's not his partner to play with. Also, Night Stalker was super underleveled because of that bad laning stage. Laning with Io, like playing with Io constantly, which means that his silence was like level 1 because you take the talent from with the Night Stalker, and he maxed out both nuke and his passive. So having like 20 minutes in 1 point in silence is just really not good.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to find the kills that you want, and I would kind of agree that the point that you had made earlier about why like RDO wasn't able to fight as effectively earlier too, of having that shadow demon on the other side, that kind of resonated with me a little bit more when you're talking about the ability to save if he does go on you. So there's definitely some parts to that as well. I the thing that I would really stood out to me the most in like the first game of this game, if we're going to talk about it, was really Schofield's play. Like I felt like Gojira absolutely owned. And I remember that one fight that happened up top where Bloodseeker pops his BKB to like go solo on the Bane and just kills him with the BKB. And then it's like, all right, they don't have Mars Arena, they don't have BKB, and no ping's like, all right, we can go in and we can take this fight. And that was a moment where Beast Coast made a play that's like, that's the top 4 play in the world type of play, which is like, we don't need to be afraid of them. We're still stronger than them. Even though we recognize we're lacking these resources, we still have enough to win it. And it was off the back of a Schofield Echo Slam that killed 2 heroes because they grew overconfident. They like got initiated on, like no ping got initiated on and like outmaneuvered when they had Night Stalker. That shouldn't happen. Like that just shouldn't happen. It was sick.
Yeah. I agree. That play was clutch. Though I would argue, much like I said in the cast, that play was also partially no ping's like positioning, right? Like Night Stalker and I were really far away from the team. This is the kind of things that Beast Coast sees, as you say, like a top 4 team knows. Like you're like 2 centimeters too far off, we can punish you now. But if they hadn't played that way, if RDO had been with them from the start, or they had initiated a bit differently, maybe that fight wouldn't have been that bad for them. Maybe.
Same bans so far. 3 out of 3. Beast Coast,
the Brewmaster.
Brewmaster is in the pool. Let's see if No Ping decides to pick it up straight. I'm not a bit like I've seen in North America that it gets banned against like certain teams, Arkosh Gaming and some other teams. But because I personally don't believe in the hero, I don't feel the hero is that strong. It's very situational. It's also ulti dependent. Your first 2 ultis, if you don't do anything with it, you're not gonna have a good time. Now with the Aghanim Scepter, it might be a bit different, but I'm still not convinced. I just don't feel like he's strong in the lane. He can pop off. Maybe I feel the hero is not supposed to be played as a core. I feel more of a position 5. I think it really suits the hero.
Real quickly, Lacoste. Actually, Avo, can you click the chat button in the bottom right and see who it was that laughed when Io got picked? Because I feel like it's
Stinger.
somebody from Beast Coast.
Stinger.
Okay, so yes, the draft they picked Io and immediately he started laughing. I feel like there's some confidence going on right now there, and they get the Spirit Breaker. This hero is super highly prioritized in Eastern Europe. I've been watching Dota. get
Yeah,
played
all other
recently, and
regions just love the hero for a reason. This hero is too strong. It also gives you global presence. It gives you like super good late game, because once you go down to 6-second BKB, Spirit Breaker will eventually have Aghanim Scepter, and then you can also like he counters so many heroes. He counters every single core, because you can go like through the you have two abilities that go through BKB, and there are also certain heroes in the game that you like want to break, which his shard allows him to do. Like let's say you play against Phantom Assassin, you don't have a hero that is good against like Tide Hunters, you can't bring him down. There's the break mechanic, so you are able to kill him. The hero just his toolkit is too good.
What is it going to be the IO partner this time, guys? Invoker is not the IO partner, so what's going to be the IO partner? We're going to see the Luna again? Is she going to make an appearance? Will Beast Coast let that through?
If
Are
they
we going to have
wanted
another
to,
IO less game?
if they wanted to pick Luna, they would pick it straight away. I still feel like Beast Coast should try to cover some of that and get rid of it, because that's how No Ping like played so far in, I believe, 5 games with IO Luna in the DPC. I think picking Invoker gives them a long-range disruption against the Snapfire ulti, and Invoker's not really easy to gank, so that kind of covers already 2 heroes that they have. When I say gank, I mean by the Spirit Breaker, use a Cold Snap, or you use Tornado.
Tornado also dispels the Bulldoze, which is nice when he comes down, right? Obviously, similar to the Yules in that
Yes.
regard. So, pretty good.
he stays up the full time as well, doesn't he? Or no?
Yes. I think it does, right? I think all tornadoes work that way. That ignores that resistance.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, taking out some of the more obnoxious counters to Invoker early on, I don't know. It's interesting, right? Because it's like, when you run Io Night Stalker, to me that feels like it's this build up. They anticipated that they were going to try and do this like Tinker thing, right? Where you can start a fight with the Bane somewhere, and then you bring in the Night Stalker, and like Tinker can show up and get like the last hit or whatever. With this, it's like, what's the goal here? Where are we going with this? Are they just going to pick Bane second phase now, and then that's like their support combo again, and now you have like a more active mid? Maybe that's what they're thinking, is they want a more active mid?
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, he comes online much faster. You get Earn, and you're ready to go. You can keep fighting all the time. Let's see if they decide to get rid of... what did they ban?
Faceless Void?
Yeah, Faceless Void, I think it was a decent ban, considering they don't have any kind of save, but that was in the last banning stage. I feel they banned Tusk. They banned Tusk, and they banned, I believe, Dark Willow. I think Dark Willow is really good against the Spirit Breaker and also against the Snapfire. Just being able to use Bramble Maze and lock him down, stop the charge in a fight. So he needs to find a different angle, and then he might be late. Okay, they go with Clockwork. Clockwork's also like long range disruption against Snapfire, good against the Spirit Breaker, can't stop him during the charge. You might need to have like super good reflexes and be good at math to do it while he's charging. But yeah, these are professional e-gamers. They know what's up.
But does the Clockwork, is it indicative of any other pick, or is it just once again to protect Snapfire, Spirit Breaker? Could they be thinking of something like Lina, for example?
Could be. Maybe like, I don't know if they want to go with something like Ancient Apparition, because this is the first hero that comes to my mind when I see Clockwork. You just ruin the hero. Probably not gonna be it. It's also against Io, so might be a thing. Not sure. Also, one thing that Beast Coast did is they are very flexible with their heroes, so they can play Snapfire on the off lane if needed.
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
You know what's weird? I was thinking about Shadow Fiend because of the Clockwork Cogs trick that people used to do. But I didn't think it would come up like this. That's super interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it's an old Sea Smile hero. and back when he was called Chris Luck, he used to be a hero. Because Beast Coast famously they didn't scrim for the first year that they were together, and they only played pubs. And the Shadow Fiend is a pub hero through and through, so he would always ask for this hero. They'd be like, "No, this hero's trash. Stop playing it in pubs. Stop practicing it. We don't want you to play this hero." Now it's good again. My question would also be if Hector can play it, because we've seen a lot of carry SF.
Yeah, he did not play it so far, I believe. And it doesn't
he hasn't
strike
yet.
me as a Hector hero where he
No.
doesn't get a single spell and just right clicks. But the hero can farm. You get to that Mask of Madness. I want to see maybe I feel like Tusk / Earth Spirit could potentially ruin Shadowfin. And now that they like banned out Clockwork, it makes a lot of sense because this is most likely going to be a mid shadow. Like Clockwork, one of the heroes that you Tornado, Clockwork comes in, and Shadowfin's dead. I feel, for me at least, I just love killing Shadowfin through my whole life of Dota. I feel the hero is one of the most satisfying heroes to kill in the game.
Why? Is it because he's easy to kill?
It's like
Because he's
easy to kill, doesn't have any escape mechanism. He just dies. I don't know. It's been like that for 15 years. I can't explain it.
It's like he has
true Dota 1
relatively low HP
Yeah.
too, right? So it's like low HP to the amount of damage that Shadow Fiend does. It's like a glass cannon that you shatter with a baseball. It just feels nice. Lion's gonna finger him later on, gonna get blown up.
I like that. I like that. They go for a classic Beast Coast pick, though, with the Sven. They believe that it's a Brewmaster counter. I would say so, because he cleaves just to the Brewlings. Some people would argue Brew these days can split beforehand and cycle the Sven, but it's kind of hard to do in the middle of a team fight.
It
especially
is.
if you're not the one initiating.
You can dispel Warcry, which is a very
Yes.
good thing to do in a team fight. But yeah, as you said, Sven with the cleave should be able. Like, they don't have any abilities that go through magic immunity, so the timing once Sven gets a BKB is what Beast Coast is looking for. So now they need a hero that does all. I'm thinking about someone who can fight Sven, possibly something like a Razor, but then you don't have like the real scaling maybe, or a Life Stealer. But we're talking about Life Stealer with 4 items that is able to fight against Sven, because Sven becomes too strong too early on, and then like Life Stealer doesn't match up nicely, but at the later stages of the game he does really well.
I think this Faceless Void ban was like clutch. That's the type of thing that can just like ruin your game in a way. Because if you kill everybody else outside of it with like Cataclysm, it's just gonna fall apart. Darkseer ban is also super hype. I mean, I think that this is gonna be a Whisper Spirit Breaker, but my thought process is that if you were able to give up the Darkseer, then you probably run that for Beast Coast, because then you can just do 3-4 easy combo, and it's gonna be devastating no matter what. But yeah, at this stage, I don't know, it's kind of funky, right? Like, you need something that can sort of stay toe-to-toe. So, like, I don't know, in a way, like Slark or something like that sounds kind of interesting to me. But you're also playing against Spirit Breaker that charges
Oh, no,
through and
it's
just causes so many issues.
I don't think that's a good idea. So yeah, they do
Right, I
ban
don't think
Life.
it can work.
No, I think one extra hero that can work against Shadowfiend Sven is Phantom Assassin, or they also like you have built-in invasion. So I think it should be like PA or a Razor pick for no ping.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay. I like that PA pick. That used to be an RTO staple. That's one of his classic heroes with a Spectre, you know, the Teeter Blade. Like, when he
You-
wanted to play tempo. he
Yeah,
would play PA.
you have a lot of ways to buff up Phantom Assassin with IO, also with Invoker. Let's see what they decide to go for.
Oh.
Troll.
Okay.
This is like I don't know. I'm never a believer in Troll, ever.
Nah, I just I feel like
I hate
I've
the
seen
hero
this
now.
hero fail so many times that I just stopped believing long time ago. It's and here, to be fair, it doesn't feel too bad. I mean, it's similar thinking why I said Phantom Assassin, someone who can like fight, and they don't have any burst damage, so he should be able to get the ulti off in fights, and also the missed chance against Sven, also against Shadowfiend should be really good. They don't have any like kiting on side of Beast Coast as well. So they need to go in. What their lineup is about is we go in, we blow up someone up with Sven, with Shadowfiend ulti, Snapfire ulti. After that, they're not going to be fight ready. I think Noping actually has a decent lineup once again, I would say, where they can like prolong the team fight with relocate with heals, Brewmaster split, go for the Cyclones in the backlines, try to also control the Sven. So it feels good. They also have burst damage. They have a lot of control with Lion.
I think there is some nice parts to that. I'm worried about Spiritbreaker in this game if he's just sort of let loose to do whatever he wants. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more annoying because there's Brewmaster Lift, there's Invoker Tornado. But when I'm looking at this, is if this is a core Spiritbreaker gets towards like that Shadow Blade, all you need is a second, and Sven is gonna blow you up. Yeah, Disruptor. This is sick. I was thinking Disruptor actually as like the answer, right? Because now you've got like some extra way to kite people and to get some control in there.
Yes, it's also
It's sick.
Great
Yeah,
against
Whisper's
Io,
not bad.
against Io's Relocate, also having Silence against Troll or Brewmaster, because their heroes don't, like, they go in with, let's say, Charge, Sven follow up on a Brewmaster. I think this game is going to be very interesting. I think this is going to be a very even game, because I would say, once again, Noping, I feel like they have a better draft. I'm not talking about the teams. Everyone probably knows that Beast Coast is a better team, but seeing how this could potentially play out, I could see Noping, causing some upsets. And they also have like decent Roche taking lineups. So they had like one good Roche fight near the tier 1 tower on the mid after it falls with Io's attack speed, Invoker Alacrity. Troll could be an issue here.
For me, it's top lane how top lane goes is how the game is going to go. And I think that Beast Coast are going to win both of those two things. So we'll see.
All right. Yeah, as a hater and troll, I will have to side with you, but we'll have to see what our casters say as we go over to Richie and Alvo, or Seek and Strike and Alvo Plus.
Who's Richie? Who's Richie in this Avo
Who's
guy?
Alvo Plus?
Who's Avo Plus? Who are we really? And yeah, I got to agree with you guys. Every single time I see Troll, I'm just not a believer in it. They got the Wisp to back them up here for King Jungles. This is something that Noping like to go for. But I think, like Lyrical said, this got picked up and Stinger immediately manually triggered the laugh line. I think you have to go into console and type in a command to do that. So Man was ready. He knew the Wisp was coming. They drafted the Spiritbreaker to deal with it. And I think it's going to tear apart this Wisp. It just feels really bad to play Wisp into the Spiritbreaker. You've got that global presence to counter your own global presence. You've got constant vision on you. You've got Disruptor here. I think you need a lot to enable a Troll. Wisp can do it, but Beast Coast have the tools to shut down the Wisp. I just don't see this Troll working, unfortunately.
Look, one thing I'll say in favor of the Troll is that every single Troll game I've gotten to witness in the DPC has been Troll versus Mars for some goddamn reason, and it always loses. And at one point you think, okay, there's 8 game sample size. You have to figure out a 0% winner on Troll. Please stop picking it versus Mars, but they keep at it. So in this game, I at least see the Troll being a good pick. I agree with Lacoste, right? Like the draft is good in theory. The question, though, as you said, is will they be able to win the lanes? Will they be able to execute better? I don't know. I think the Whisper Snapfire was the pick all along. I actually never thought Spiritbreaker was core because Whisper was going to play Snapfire. He loves it, and he is very good in the laning stage. That's partially why it's scary. Monster. Oh, they're going for Stinger. Stinger could be in trouble. There's a Stormhammer. He still body block. That's going to be the first blood given away by Stinger. Good start, but Chris Luck, or C-Smile, sorry, does manage to get a counter kill on Monster, so a little 1-for-1 there. Who got the first blood? It was RTO, so
yeah,
a big win for
RTO got it.
No.
C-Smile gets a kill in return, but he has to use all 3 raises, so he's a bit low on mana. He's going to need someone to block for him. Yeah, I think Stinger's going to do it while he refills in the fountain.
Stinger,
okay,
you died
not
for
bad.
this, so you better go and block for me now.
Yeah, see, he's pinging it. He's like, no, go back there. I mean, it's important. You're an SF, like it's what you do, right?
Yeah. He couldn't even mana fully. Did Stinger? Oh, now we're gonna see the Stinger skill as a mid laner.
Yeah. Let's see.
Look at his block.
Doesn't he play?
If Stinger blocks better than Analog, then Analog needs to retire from Pro Dota. So this is very
I
important.
think that's how it works. I think those are the
Yeah.
rules. So they're unwritten, but that's how it works. He's doing pretty good so far, actually.
I think
And
he's
in
doing slightly
fact-
better than Analog.
Yeah, Analog. He's gonna get. Yeah, look at that. C-Smile's like, all right, get out of here. Don't take my experience. You did good enough.
All right. Analog, I hope you enjoy your last game of Dota. You better win this, because otherwise Stinger's taking your role. He's gonna become the new mid laner for Noping.
Yeah, and there's the triple race as the key of the first wave. Necromancy leveled under tower is going to force analog back, but it's going to be fine. Everything's okay here.
Yeah, we're
Strong
good, we're
start,
good.
though, for the SF.
All that matters here now, to me, really, is honestly the bottom lane. I think level 1 Snapfire is not going to be that strong, but as the levels progress, I can imagine her doing a bit better. If RDO wins this lane, there's good chances that you match the Sven's tempo and that you manage to beat them on early. You also have a lot of pushing potential with him. But if this does not work out, Whisper gets a really good lane. There's a lot of burst. And there's even builds that Snapfire can go that are very anti-troll. Ags itself is good for kiting. E-Blade, which was very popular when Thompson was playing Snapfire mid. It's great against troll, obviously, always. Even honestly,
You could have
Graves
just
and
said
Force
E-Blade was popular when Thompson was playing mid. You could just stop it there, can't you?
Yeah, it didn't have to be Snapfire. He just built it every first item, every hero.
I agree with you, actually. I think even, like, if you want to play, like, just a super farm position 4, go for, like, the Blink Shard builds, and then max Scatterblast. I think that actually might work this game. Might be pretty decent.
I don't think you do blink in that game because you're more of a defensive shard. I think the shard's great though because like you push the troll away when he's coming at you, right? So you can go for like a force staff actually and into the shard as well because you don't need to. Your goal is not to force the initiation, right? Your goal is to just make sure trolls and get to your heroes.
It's true. That's true. I also just like it just as a way to a secondary stun for Brew, right? Just another stun to make sure maybe you don't have to commit the static storm for him, something like that. Just options, right? Redundancy and making sure that that primal split doesn't come through.
Snapfire's versatility and builds. She's one of the more versatile offlaners because she's never the F staple build, right? She's just good with her spells. Allows her to build into whatever is more appropriate this game. Like she could even build something which is not very common, like an Athos, for example, right? Just to be able to catch up to the troll and into Mortimer's Kisses. There's a lot of options you actually have. They have Cookie now, which means they want to play aggressively, but the IO healing makes it a bit impossible. They should, as long as they do well in last sitting, I think that's all they can muster. It is a troll IO. This is a strong lane. I don't expect that you actually destroy this lane or even get kills.
Yeah. I think if this is going to be a kill lane, it's a kill lane onto the Wisp, and not so much onto the Troll, especially in these early levels when Fervor is pretty low. Well, in fact, we don't even have Fervor yet, but, you know, Warlane Axes aren't super high level. Troll just doesn't really have the damage. He's got plenty of sustain with the Wisp, but I think it's a bad bet here going for RDO, as Whisper is getting gone on now. That Cookie stun here onto RDO. There's 2 Fairy Fires and 10 Stick Charges, so Wisp is going to keep RDO topped up here very easily. And in fact, they're going to go for the kill onto Gojira. I mean, case in point right there, right? Like, just don't go for the kill onto RDO. If you want to kill, it's a kill onto the Wisp.
Yeah, I don't think that was really well played, honestly. Look at King Jungle. Oh, Whisper might actually died as well. We're making a lot of mistakes here, I think, because the theory is correct, right? When you're up against a lane with high sustain, you have to
die top.
And Stinger might die as a result. Yep, but he got the kill and the experience, so he's happy. So the theory is correct. When you're up against a lane with high sustain, what you want to do is commit to the kill, right? Like, if you don't get the kill, they're going to just heal back up. You're useless. There's no point in you doing that. But there's committing and there's over-committing. You have to be able to read that situation properly. I don't think they really did that there. I think they're forcing fights unnecessarily, especially when Whisper's doing well.
Trouble? Okay, and the surprise rotation is going to actually pick up a kill here onto C Smile. They need a little bit more, and they have it. Kill goes to Analog.
Well done. I mean, they leave Monster alone, so that lane's going to be a bit tough, but Ictor's already struggling in this lane, so it's good for them. And this gives Analog a little bit more recovery, because his lane was going just okay. Yeah, this early game is much better than last early game, though, for an opening. Like, it's a considerable difference. It's also much worse for Beast Coast. So...
Yeah, this camp was blocked, so Stinger couldn't very easily recover the equilibrium. So even though this lane was difficult for Monster, he did have a wave underneath tower. And now that, you know, the wave is back into more equilibrium, well, Theolacor is back blocking the camp, and he's also back to the lane in general. So pretty decent stuff from NoPing. Good laning mechanics here so far, as Hector is going to be looking to fight. He's going to be ignited here, but got the Warcry buff to keep him alive and topped off as Theolacor stunned a second time here. There are no more spells for the side of Beast Coast, that is. That's going to allow Hector to get ran down here by Monster. Doesn't have the Thunderclap, though, for the kill, as Theo might end up dying here. Yeah, he's dead to the Thunderstrike. Last one will secure the kill. Monster looking for revenge here in some form. Looking for Stinger. Ooh. And ignited Stinger will tick down. Salve onto Hector will keep him alive. Monster really wants to cancel it.
That was Stinger's salve, actually. That was before he died. He's like, one last thing, Hector. Here you go.
One last support move.
Take my torch.
Remember me.
Yeah, that was decent. I mean, Monster's playing this lane super aggressively. I love his build on the Cinder Brew. Thunderclap is just to trigger it, right? Lion's decent at triggering too, but Thunderclap keeping it at low level, make sure that the mana stays low as well, so you can always be efficient and get the kill on Disruptor. I don't think you're going to kill Sven unless Hector makes a mistake or overextends. Obviously, you want to threaten that, but that's it. In the case though of the Disruptor, he's just a freebie for you, and as many kills as you can get on Stinger, the better. He's not even gone for the Thunderstrike build. He's even might be leveling himself for the mid game by getting more points in Glimpse.
Well, Gojira, yeah, he's made a mistake, so he's gonna have to take the scenic route back home, lest he die to the Invoker, who also rotates for the Arcane Rune. Gojira, he might make it out. He's gonna have to Fairy Fire, I think. King Jungle's... Oh, he's not fast enough. You don't buy boots on
He kills the
Wisp.
Courier with one hit, I think, at this point. Oh,
Tornado?
I guess because... Oh, he canceled it, though.
Yeah,
They're TPing for him.
The tower.
I mean,
Space created. I mean, he did this last game as well. Look at this. He got another charge in 7 seconds. Fairy Fire and a stick, so he'll live.
Oh, charge, ready? Oh, using the trees as cover?
No way. No way.
Oh my god, he actually got... He didn't even use the ward for that. They just dropped the ward to try to kill him.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Monster's getting some kills top lane, though. In fact, they get Hector. That was the first Primal Split used, but Primal Split for a kill. And even a little bit of chip damage onto the Tier 1 tower here because the wagon is also pushing in. So top lane going swimmingly for no ping, even if Gojira is taking them for a bit of a ride. I see why Analog committed so hard for that. In hindsight 2020, obviously just keep hitting the tower or whatever. But he just had Urn, right? He really, really wanted to get those Urn charges. That looks like a free kill. He's one hit away for like a solid minute. And those two first Urn charges really get the ball rolling here for the Quaswex Invoker. But nice
that's
job
why.
there by Gojira.
I think Gojira understood that too, right? Which is why he forced it to the very end. The Oligor now is being charged to the top lane. The Thunderstrike comes in, but here's the kill Analog was looking for. And it's going to be on the perfect kill. It's going to be Hector. Whisper's coming by, but Whisper's coming by a bit too late. The charge is continuing, though. Whisper wants to continue this. They have a cookie. They gotta use Stinger here. Oh, they don't. Cookie, actually. Gonna use the charge instead. Maybe go for the supports here. Mortimer's Kisses on for Monster. He will survive them. They don't kill Lion either. Wow. Stinger dies as well. And Whisper's now fighting Analog head-on. Now the IO, the bane of his existence. Whisper, he can't burst him down. Whisper needs to retreat. Whisper is but a Snapfire. Has one last cookie. Has to use it appropriately. Evade the Tornado. Also the MP. Whisper just juked the enemy. That's the kind of play where I feel like the call was not great by Beast Coast, but they're so good that it makes up for it, right? But that was not the best call. I think Noping did that much better.
Yeah, and I don't think Beast Coast didn't get a single kill there.
No, they didn't. You should have kissed the Lion. They went for the Brewmaster. That was unnecessary.
Yeah, so they end up losing two. Well, they end up losing Hector twice is what I meant to say, so he can't even TP back to lane. Invoker will stick around here, push maybe one more wave, and... this might be the tower going down already, actually, with RDO coming on over, even with level 1 Fervor. I don't think anyone can really boot him, especially without the kisses. In the meantime, though, Beast Coast will look to apply pressure mid. Lokor is here, but against 4 heroes, he's going to need a bit more. Tornado is going to sweep up 3 into the EMP. That's pretty sweet. Charge from behind is going to find Theo Licor, sending him back into the SF, who is going to be swiftly hexed. Whisper on low HP, but... still here for the kill. He's going to eventually get the assist onto line. Kill goes to Gojira.
See Smile, though, being chased by 3 angry pandas. And I don't know if it's going to work out for them, actually. The 3 angry pandas really, really want C-Smile. They Sunstrike on top of this. C-Smile, juking between the trees. He got rid of the Fire Panda, but the Tornado will hit him. What a great Tornado by Analog. Great Sunstrike as well.
Yeah. Low-level Sunstrike, maybe for Vision, level 1 Sunstrike, but all that damage ends up coming in.
It's 100 damage, right? It's like...
Here? I mean, against an SF, right? Most satisfying hero to kill. I completely agree with Lacoste on that. Even with Strength Treads, you're still, clocking it at a measly 1200 HP. That's nothing.
Yeah, there's something in general about killing mid laners. What's the words I'm looking for? I don't respect them, I think. And so every time I kill them, it brings me a sadistic joy in my heart, right? Because they're usually the biggest whiny babies.
That is true. That is true. Plus, you get the feedback. Quick kill on the Stinger there, of course. And in fact, they might pay a bit for that.
Oh,
they got Gojira on the high ground. What?
That was so good. King Jungle's positioning was on point. He forced it out, and now they can go for C-Smile for free. King Jungle's out. There's the Mortimer's Kisses. Cancel immediately the Hex. C-Smile's dead. Gojira's still stuck. He has mana for the Magic Stick, but... through the Magic Stick, sorry, but he has the call. Now finally has the charge. I think he doesn't want to use it because he knows he's going to get stunned instead, so... Oh, He waits for him to get slowed by the ice wall, and then the charge is useless.
Lovely stuff. No point in him bulldozing there, of course, because status resist against a ground targeted thing doesn't help you. Oh, goodness. Okay, what a start from Noping, man. They're coming out of the gates swinging. And another kill there on his C Smile, you know. Noping certainly showing him no respect whatsoever. That's his third death now on the SF. Very small head SF as well in the portrait for some reason. I skipped neck day. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's always fun to kill an SF, right? He's made of paper. He screams when he dies. You get the auditory feedback as well with the Requiem death. It's good stuff.
That's true as well. The boom at the end makes you feel like you've accomplished something. Right, so that's good. Yeah. At least they got some stacks for Ector, so this might be a small recovery for Beast Ghost. But Noping is doing really well. That's exactly what we expected from them. Better lanes. Mind you, this is always scary because Beast Ghost tends to lose lanes, so they're very used to the situation. But I think this is what you have to do to begin with. Take advantage of the enemy's weaknesses, go and snowball a bit. You can utilize the troll well to now take some map control. And you also have stopped Whisper's progression. He's going to be going for like a Blink Yules, so kind of a half utility Snapfire, right? Where your goal here is to stop the Troll Warlord, but instead of going for the expensive items that might do that, like E-Blade, you're going to go for the cheapest one, which is Yules Scepter. Good idea. You might even consider the Halberd this game. Honestly, not a bad idea.
Yeah, I could see it. Relocate. Okay, they're going to be looking to fight mid lane where they have caught C Smile. Ector waiting on the high ground here. Does not have his ultimate. Finger of Death there used for C Smile, and in between the Cold Snap proxy cannot get off his own Requiem. Big old charge in as it's trapped inside the Static Storm is going to be the Invoker. Relocate was coming immediately, but they do manage to get the kill onto the Invoker before he's relocated out. Good control there, however, onto Ector as he will fall and perish in the river. A watery grave for him. Whisper will be next. RDO brought back in. Killed off. His Stinger is going to be the last to go for Beast Coast.
That's so awkward, dude. That's such an awkward fight. C-Spot got cut out, so you just kind of accept it and he dies, and that's fine. But that was such a bad play right afterwards, right? Because the Invoker is never worth a commitment. He is Quas Wex. He's the support, essentially. He's the support from the mid lane. Like he's meant to die. It's okay. I don't understand why you would commit so hard for that kill. I think Monster's more valuable than him right now because he's a tempo setter at least. The Invoker at best is just kind of ganking around where he sees opportunities. And now Gojira got caught down bottom.
Yeah, he might be dead.
Bulldoze is helping him a fair amount here. Charging 9. They're lacking damage now. Yeah, Gojira's a bit too tanky. In fact, they're going for Monster. They have Mortimer's Kisses. Monster has no problem split. Okay, they baited Noping. That was a good play here by Beast Coast. This time it actually did work out. What am I seeing? They glimpsed him out of the charge. And now that's Teoly Core. Teoly Core's not that big a deal. The monster kill is a big deal because he was also close to Ags. So,
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, I mean, we continue to delay this Lion Blink as well, which is going to be a pretty big item, right? King Jungles, again, it's a Wisp, right? This is no surprise if you've seen any no-ping games. They like picking Wisp. And he plays a good Wisp game, but again, the Wisp leaves a little bit to be desired when it comes to your typical support duo, right? Yes, you get all this healing, you get the sustain, blah, 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 global presence, but you lose out on, like, damage and initiation, so this is where Lion's going to have to step up. So delaying the Blink, even if it's just by, I don't know, about a half minute, that's time for Ector to farm, right? And farming he is doing, as he's already got a Halberd operational for the Sven, so no Halberd on the Snapfire like you suggested. Instead, it'll be for the Roge Knight.
Yeah, not very common to see. Oh, Snapfire, talking about her. Whisper is.
He's in deep.
He's dead. He's 100% dead. At least he just got Blink Tag. I'm not sure what he's pushing that hard. But
did he get the Blink delivered? Okay, he did at least.
He did. Yeah. And he's halfway through the Yule Scepter. It's not bad. Like the form is honestly impressive on Beast Coast considering how much they're fighting and dying. All right, but this is the Beast Coast staple. They're just used to doing this. I'm worried about C-Smile's impact on this game. He's been caught out a couple of times. We haven't seen this SF for the Snowball out of control. And we still haven't seen RDO in his full power. He's close to BKB. Once he gets that, I think RDO starts to dominate. Stinger?
Yep.
Yeah, Static Storm. He might just try to bait out the Isle here. Nope. They know that people are coming. They've learned. This is discipline. Axe just came out on Brewmaster, though. Monster. Not even needed. They're going to kill him quickly. Monster's actually in the mid lane trying to do his first gank.
the astute viewers might have heard and perhaps even anticipated Sven joining the fight because he did use God's Strength, but no. He's just farming. He's here to farm the jungle. Hector, he's in
I
full
actually
farm
thought
mode.
that as a caster.
Me
I was
too.
like, oh, Sven's joining. But then it's like, wait, it's Hector.
It's Hector. Yeah, I got bamboozled just for a split second as well. Maybe Beast Coast did as well. Theo Core is absolutely murdered. 100-0 there. They do use the Nether Strike, but kill onto the support is well worth it. But that means
good
they
Roche
won't
taken,
have
though.
something to... Yeah, they won't have really much to contest Roche. Kisses are coming. Cancelled immediately by a tornado, which just clips Whisper.
Structures are fortified.
Okay,
Blink. All
push
right.
on-
Whisper's fine for now, but they lost the way to contest this, though. They have Static Storm still, but Stinger's too far. And by the time
Yeah.
Hector's already leaving, probably is indication that they
Jira?
don't want to fight this.
Vajira? Oh, okay. I thought maybe he was going to go for a hero play. Unfortunately, he's just going to bulldoze and... well, maybe make it out of here. He's very fast. Bulldoze, strong ability. 1-3-4 build on the Spear Breaker. As Gojira with the phase boots is going to go ahead and sidestep that tornado. And away he goes.
Oh, he's actually going to live again. Whenever you think Gojira's going to die, he just comes back again, right?
All that plot armor.
Hey, ask Cranston, dude. He knows. I was going to say that the team fight was... I mean, I guess not the best, but I think that they showed some discipline what they were not showing in the past few team fights, so that's good. Really good objective taken by MP, though. They realize that they're stronger right now because they got Ags and Brewmaster anyway. They're ready to fight if need be, and they have great objective taken with Troll, so you might as well abuse it.
Dire's top tower is under
You also know
Smile.
SF is useless.
Yeah, that's true. He's a little bit less useless now, though. He's disassembled the Dragonlance for a BKB, but that's all he has, really, just treads and BKB. SF, not really the kind of hero where you kill him once with that satisfying death explosion and his
bottom.
game is over, but you kill him 4 times and his game is pretty difficult. Static Storm there to preempt the relocate, as Whisper is going to be killed here by the Tier 2 tower. They get through the Disruptor just as quick. Yay.
And the rest of them are suffering against the Pandas. Monster. I think he still has another brew split anyway. C-Smile's out of mana. He might have a BKB. That's not going to help him too much. He's trying to save Gojira. C-Smile, the most important part right now is don't die. And Hector's not joining it because he used God's Strength to farm. And also, there's no point. Like, this is a loss if you join. So I think it's the right choice. He's building his BKB. Once he got that, he's probably going to fight.
Do you think the Sven needs a blink this game, the way this game is going, or you think he'll be okay once he gets this BKB online?
I think once you get the BKB, you're fine. Like, your match against the Troll is not the greatest, but you just need to control him through the rest of your heroes, right? I think the rest of the team, he already got Halberd, which is a good start, but the rest of the team should start itemizing against Troll. And he should itemize against the rest of the team.
Dire's
Okay,
middle
I'll buy that.
tower is under
I'll buy that. That makes sense. Little pig pole here for RDO is into the triangle he goes. There's a thief here that's stolen the bounty rune. Gojira, again, he's just too speedy. Too fast, can't catch him.
I would personally not mind seeing Eul's on C-Smile, to be honest with you. I know it's not the most common build on SF these days, but to control Troll would be bad. Because if he doesn't go for that kind of build, then Sven's going to be your tank, and he's going to be your damage source. And I just feel like C-Smile's he's just been getting smashed this game, honestly. He hasn't really had a chance to do anything.
And he might get smashed again here if they can scout him in the trees. RDO is going to run right into him. BKB active, Requiem of Souls. But RDO's got a BKB as well. He's going to go ahead and use it. 9-second BKB does give C-Smile the cover he needs to TP away.
All right.
And, well, they did get out of charge of the Primal Split for that, so, you know, not inconsequential. Earning more duration of the Aegis. They're going to get a Tier 2 for this, though, by the looks of things.
It's actually not bad, though, to be honest. Use the BKB, right? So that's important.
They're gonna reinitiate.
Static Storm.
Charge is
All
coming.
right. Going for the IO. They figure out the target, but RDO is standing in their
tether.
way. RDO is going to go and kill Stinger immediately. Super easy. Mortimer gets from behind. Once again, just going for King Jungles, but King Jungles won't die. There's a Scatter Blast, and now they control RDO. They even use God's Strength. RDO, even surrounded by the creeps, he gets the blind off, though, plus that Battle Trance, and he's able to go for Whisper here, but Whisper is tanking this nicely. RDO stuck in a bad position. He went too far, so that second life might not be as useful. They have Stormhammer. They have to protect the monster. 3 seconds for the Primal Split. They hit him with the Stormhammer, though. EMP is not going to help him as Hector BKB and Monster in the second charge. Those Brewlings are going to die relatively soon. You got to be careful, Monster. He sends the one that can get invisible. The Storm rolling away, and he's going to be able to survive just barely. Hardest hero in the game, but he manages to control it just barely.
Just barely with these little
You know.
spirit pandas.
I mean,
Pandas
think about
not
it. You have to
bears.
press a whole panda and then press the E. Like, not everyone can do that.
He's not a bear, technically. You know why? You know, he might
Why?
be a koala, but he doesn't have the right qualifications, Avo. to be a bear.
I think that's the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
Radiant are scanning.
I feel like you got inspired because you heard like cost. You're like, I gotta make some of these, but that was trash. I don't know what to tell you.
It's true. They're not bears.
It's because Brewmaster's also, everyone knows that Brewmaster is not Australian, and koalas only exist in Australia.
That's so.
Yeah. And zoos, actually. Sometimes they import them. I've heard that's the thing.
Good fight there for Beast Coast. Double BKB time. It's coming online for them pretty well here for the SF. And the Sven, even if they... Again, I mean, it comes in... that BKB usage for C-Smile does actually end up making a difference, doesn't it, right? He baits out a charge of the Primal Split. Primal Split's not yet ready in time when they need it for that second little engagement. They hold on to the Tier 2 tower, if only just. And they're going to continue... Well, actually, they just start to extend the net lead now in favor of Beast Coast, maybe for the first time in this game.
That BKB bait, or not bait, bait's giving him too much credit. That BKB use by C-Smile to force Troll's BKB ended up being crucial in that fight, right? They actually played really well off that. But that's how Beast Coast seems to me. They don't have like a plan to bait out that BKB, but then they're like, oh, we could make this work. that's kind of what their plan seemed like. Yo, Static Storm, they're going for the Lion. You know what? I think they can kill him. They got Glimpse. Send him back. Hector's committing to this. Hector has no mobility. Hector... Oh no, Hector's weakness. He saw creeps on the way. He got distracted. He couldn't continue.
Now
you can actually
usually
see the
what you need to cut out of Sven is something, like a Yule Scepter. I don't know, Shiva, Ayaskati, right, is particularly strong at kiting out these melee cores. Or you can build Helm 2 on everyone on your team and then just run the Helm 2 creeps the other way, and he'll go and farm them. He'll go and chase them.
Hector actually, he might be Peruvian, but has strong Spanish ancestry. You just go, oh no, Hector, oh no. He's like, oh. just follows the gold wherever it goes. Really,
it's his favorite color.
It's his favorite color. Yes, indeed. Yeah, in that team fight, I mean, that was very helpful trying to kill the Lion, but also Static Storm was a big cooldown.
This feels hopeful as well. Okay, BKB is up. Okay, goodbye, Lion. Monster is
by
here.
Monster, you mean?
There's a charge in. What is going on? Okay, the split is there. Gojira's going to cancel his Nether Strike. Stinger as well is going to hold back the Pandas, but not, of course, the Earth Berlin, as he charges right on through the kinetic field. Gojira is hiding underneath his Tier 1 tower. Snap fires well from behind. Kiss is instantly canceled. I don't know why you thought you were going to get more than one kiss there, but down they go.
Gojira? He sees the Invoker because he has Dust and also the Sentry in place. They glimpse him back into kinetic field. Static Storm for 2 seconds. Not enough mana. Oh, he just got it. Static Storm. There we go. Analog is stuck. He's going to die. They stopped the relocate thanks to the Static Storm. King Jungle didn't see it in time.
What the heck? What is going on in this game?
Okay, see, that was one of the situations where Beast Coast respected Noping too much, and that was their mistake, because they realized, like, they saw Brew and Lion, they go, there's no way these two idiots are ganking the triangle alone 23 minutes in. And that's why they backed out, and then they realized, oh no, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Most teams would take a longer time to adapt to that, but because Beast Coast, they play a lot of Liga Skate, they play a lot of SA pubs, they know that these plays sometimes happen.
Yeah, just... An incredibly confident move from Noping there to smoke in his 2. I mean, you're simply put, Abo, you're not killing this Sven with just a Lion and a Brewmaster. I mean, it's not happening. Is there Ags? No. There's no Ags on Invoker. He's going Lincolns. Maybe if there's Cataclysm, BKB, I go, okay, perhaps, right? Yeah. But no, it's not happening.
It was a really good BKB time from Hector, so maybe they were hoping that if without the BKB they managed to. I don't know.
But how with those two heroes? They don't kill a Sven. He's got like 3,000 HP. He's at 2,500 HP. They don't kill him, and casual evasion, and
Richie,
like a million armor.
I am grasping at straws here, my friend. You don't need to cut them and stomp them. Okay, I'm just trying to find these straws for Nope.
I'm just surprised. Like I respect the play. I respect the play from Noping. You know, you make a smoke play. You're like, I don't know about this, but you commit to it. I respect it, right? If that was anyone but Sven, it might have been a kill. Unfortunately, it's the one person. You just can't. If it's SF, that's perfect, right? He's dead instantly, basically. But unfortunately, they find the Sven.
The two phrases that I don't play and everyone wants to hear from a caster is "I respect it" and "interesting." Those are the two phrases where you're like, "Oh no, something bad just happened," but I can't. I wouldn't be nice to them. Yep.
Oh, well, you know.
Look, one of these plays. This was the equivalent of the Mars TP last game, so I think they get one per game, right? I think it's okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hector TP'd out of there because he's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I don't want to farm here. I already took the ancients. I'm out."
He respected them. That's what I'm telling you. That was his mistake. And they're like, "Wait, actually, I could just kill."
Oh,
He's going
Gojira?
for Lincolns again this game. Is the idea to? Oh yeah, Gojira. Sorry. No
it
way, he
looked
lives
like
this
he's-
one. He has to
No,
die.
I don't believe he lives this time. Charge? Yeah, no. Mana? There you go.
Yeah. He got BKB though before he died, which is pretty amazing. That means he didn't lose any gold.
Yeah.
But you know what's
Yeah,
the best part is
Max-
Gojira actually bought that BKB last second, as in until the last second he thought, I'm gonna live this. I'm okay.
I'll be fine. I'm sure. I got bulldoze. Oh, my bulldoze ran out. Oh, well. Next life. Ag's refresher with an Aeon disc ready to be assembled for monster. So you know he does technically have 2 items right now. Keep an eye on that.
Yes.
And he's very quickly making his way towards the refresher for all of the primal splits in the world.
Yeah.
Specifically
I like
4
that.
of them.
Tower is under
Best build in the world. More power splits. The problem though is that with this build, while being really great, that's when Sven comes into play as being the ultimate brew counter, right? Because yeah, you can like cancel the primal split over and over again, but Sven will just smash your brewlings at one point completely. Especially once you get crit. Like once you get crit, those brewlings just die.
There's a smoke play happening real quick, but before this happens,
Gojira, what?
well, now here they go. Okay,
And the static storm?
Gojira. Is he gonna live? There's the Aeon disc assembled, but that's not gonna save Monster being be active for Hector, as well as the God Strength. They have the kill easily. Gojira's gonna be a lot of TP away, and Roche is up. East Coast are straight into the pit. They start doing this one. When has Hector decided to abandon his good friend Silver Edge? And oh, okay, goodbye Lion. A little early there on the blink on in. Okay, and what? Okay, Troll is dead too now. He decided to try and fight as well. And Wisp is going to be very easy pickings.
Oof, no ping is being dismantled. Like mentally, I mean, they lost the
Yeah.
plot. What's happening? That was not the fight they wanted. I mean, the initial fight was like okay, right? You try to go for a Roche. You kind of forcing because you're Troll. I kind of get where you're coming from, even if it might be a misplay. But the second play was yeah, very questionable.
Let me ask you this: When did Hector change from Silver Edge as the best item of the game to Lincoln Sphere? Because
When they added the crit, he was like, it's too good. Nah, I can't buy it anymore. Everyone's doing it. It's not fun anymore. Let me go for Blink now. No, it's just this game. This game is really good. The Blink, because you can the Troll with it. You kill the backlines easily.
No,
like Io
Lincoln. Sorry for Hector, because he built one last game as well.
I think both games is really good. Last game was for Fiend Script. This game is to deal with the Cyclone and to deal with the Tilico's gonna die. To deal with the Hex.
He's dead. Okay, I see that.
I also think Lincoln is kind of OP right now, if I'm honest with you, so I kind of agree with Hector. Yes, BKB, TP, nice job. I don't know, like, ever since the stat change, I think people are sleeping on the Lincolns. It's kind of cheaper now for what it gives you, and the stats are really good. I've started to develop this build where, like, I just build a first item on certain heroes all the time, and it works so nicely, like Shadow style. You know, the wings carry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's good stats, right? Sven, he's missing a little bit of stats because he just went for the Casual Heaven's Halberd as the first item, and Power Treads, I guess BKB as well, right? Being a strength hero. So, yeah, I mean, I see it. I just, you know, this game, to me, I don't see an obvious reason to go for it. I suppose there is no save. They do catch the SF here, by the way. See Smile. They go hunting pretty deep beyond the Tier 2 tower, and they pick up the kill.
Now, this is the kind of play that Noping needs to do right now. Right? They took a lot of risky plays over objectives, and it's fine. But you can't see those plays failing and go, oh, that's not the playstyle. Like, I'm glad they're keeping consistent to their playstyle. King Jungle's making the right calls. And he's saying, right now, we are in a desperate mode. Let's not forget that. And even though we failed the last few risks we've taken, doesn't mean that we got to stop taking risks, especially now more than ever, right? So these kind of incursions, they just need to be a bit more sensical. Like, they need to play around the spaces better. Like there, for example, they were playing around their ward. They're playing around their side of the map. It's good. The Roche might have been a bit too risky, but they are improving on their iterations. Nope,
Not
Stinger
even
was
bad.
not
Oh.
expecting that.
Oh, yeah, Stinger
Stinger's
is in a
gonna
lot of
die.
trouble. Hex from high ground, and he's dead. Gojira is just going to stun the Wisp briefly, but he's going to be stunned himself. Whisper, by the way, has Blink, has Shard
Hector's
now
here.
on top of his BKB. Chase is on, though, for Hector. Can they catch him is the next question.
Mortimer's kisses just to deter the aggression, maybe? The blind, really annoying Hector. He might activate BKB just for it. Nope. He's going to wait for the second life. He's playing the standard. The early core did die in the backline thanks to Whisper, though. Hector's like, I'm done with RDO. Well, they stunned him just in time. They also used the Heaven's Halberd on him as the ultimate came off. RDO stunned once again. Kinetic Field there. He's going to deal with RDO and the Brewlings at the same time. Monster, though, can just come back to being real Monster. But that's where Sven comes to
Yeah.
play. Too much sustained damage. Instead, the backlines, we see C-Smile joining again. King Jungle's the target. They kill him with one last Nether Strike. Analog as well gonna die to that little Shredder. And it's Monster alone running for his life. In cancel at Sven Lincoln's. One last Cyclone. And Monster will probably go into his Fire Bruling and leave.
He is off and away, going to cut a mid-wave, pick up this DD rune. He is going to be underneath a ward, though, so that's going to result in a charge coming his way. Doesn't have anything to deal with this Spirit Breaker. Doesn't really look like it. He's got an Aeon Disc. I would backpack it. I think that's about to be... Oh, he's going to fight, actually. DD rune. Okay. Aeon Disc still active, still in the inventory. Monster going to be scouted. There goes the Aeon Disc. Of course, he's not going to do any damage with it active. Gets pushed back by the Shard of Whisper, stunned a second time. The Licor's in as well. Okay, you madman. I respect it. That's the Lion Finger. A kill onto Gojira. He's glimpsed outside of the kinetic field.
But the
And-
base, Richie. The base, Richie.
They're
It's
losing.
falling.
They're losing the game.
They're losing the game. Well, no big. It's in Io defending the base. All he can do is spirits. There's the Brewmaster coming back. Hector's like, I guess I'll just take your throne if you're not going to defend this. And we see a BKB
Objective-based
activation by
gamer.
C-Smile. Basher. C-Smile's going to die, though. Hector, he BKB TPs here. This is something, though, that I've talked to Beast Coast about, the base. Genuinely. And they think that a lot of teams don't value the push that you can do for tier 4s or the advantage you can take like that too much. They will always do the extra dive and they go for kills like that, because forcing buybacks like that feel bad, they think it adds, on top of the fact that obviously the buyback is used inefficiently, they think it adds a lot of mental pressure to like Monster in this case, right? Like Monster dealing hard to buy back in a situation where you usually wouldn't expect this, and that's because Beast Coast kind of forced the envelope. They're okay with sacrificing C-Smile, because now for the next 7 minutes, not only are they fighting with that buyback, which is bad, but they're literally have the pressure of I can't die. And for an offlaner, that's really bad.
And they're totally cool with this as well, right? Because they're not in the Roche window, so it's not like, C-Smile's going to be forced to buy back here to fight for Roche, and then maybe you just lose the game there, because Roche isn't up for at least another 2 minutes, and Beast Coast well aware of this. They conserve the buyback on the SF. Throne is exposed, so, any creeps in the base now, which will be pushing very strong through mid and bottom, given that they have the lanes of barracks, are going to be a real threat for no ping. I think they're in a really good spot here. They forced out, what did you say, 2 buybacks, did they?
Yeah, they forced 2 buybacks, yeah. Lion and Brewmaster.
Huge. I agree. I like that. Mental damage. MKP now for Snapfire. Love it. Little Shredder uses your own attack damage. Dragon Scale, MKB, Strength Treads, everything. Going to be hitting pretty hard here for the Snapfire, around 200 a hit. Aeon Disc as well is down to its 3rd charge. Monster after buying back. How much gold did he lose there? Lost about 1,000 gold, which would have been at least another Perseverance and about halfway towards those Refresher Orb recipe. So it's going to push back his Refresher timings by a bit as a result. Just talking about the economic damage is well done on top of the mental damage, of course, by the tier 4 play. A casual... Okay, I was about to say, I think C-Smile was struggling, and he was. He bought a Midas and then sold it, but I saw it pop up in the quick buy a couple of times, and he decided instead to go for the Hurricane Bike rather than the 33-minute Midas. I think that's the right play for the SF.
I'm not sure. Think about the 40 attack speed, though, right? Like, if he's hitting for almost 300 damage, I feel like it's kind of a mistake there. But,
Yeah, true.
I guess, so it happens. Not all pro players can be as good, right? C-Smile's having a rough game.
5, 6, and 9. Charge there, Monster.
Nope.
Another
He's
strike.
like,
He's
guys,
just
I don't,
gonna roar
have,
right
I don't have a team. Yeah, there we go. He was trying to hold him off for a bit longer, another strike afterwards, but C-Smile was a bit too late.
I can't believe this Ancient Cap, by the way, has been blocked for like 5 minutes. 6 minutes? This full ward here has just been blocking the Ancient Camp.
It's also in the
Something I'm
middle
not
of it.
do-
It's not even like on the edges to be like
Yeah,
sneaky or
it's
anything.
it's not a sneaky one. And they're going to
Oh,
be
it's not
scouted. The
smoke.
smoke is
My
unbelievable.
fucking God.
I cannot believe that.
Do they think it's a sentry? Why would you smoke there? What else would be? Oh my God. They probably think it's a sneaky ward and it's not giving vision. And they just did the most plain ward. I don't know what to say with that.
Well, I
mean,
think
look
what
at
it
this
is
stuff.
I have no idea. Yeah, and now the ward's going to expire, but it's done its duty. I mean, it's blocked the camp another time here, by the way. I cannot believe that. I mean, and what a moment this was, by the way, for No Ping, not to mention, as they pick up a DD rune, so might have been a good fight for them to take. Beast Coast now bolstered by this confidence. They will smoke up as 3 and head into the enemy triangle. Of course, their ward has since expired, but they're pushing a net worth lead here, Avo, of 20k. So where they lack the vision, they do not lack the gold lead to try and take advantage of this.
Okay, Gojira's is going to lead and break the potential smoke. There we go. And that's going to be Static Storm. They might just kill a troll here. They need to relocate. King Jungles will not do it. RTO running away now. We even see a Wrecking Missiles in the backlines to disturb him completely. Analog stuck in the kinetic field. They see him. They're controlling RTO completely. Battle Trance gets activated, but what's he going to do with it? They're just kiting him. Another Yules? RTO did nothing in this fight. Monster at least is capable of getting the primal split off, but everyone around him is dying. You can cycle in this vent for 10 minutes if you want to. The team's already over.
Yeah, game fight is. Yeah, it's difficult here. I'm surprised No Ping decides to defend the tier 1 tower like that. You know, I think high ground is a little bit easier of a choke point to actually defend. Oh, they get monster as well. But creeps are in the base. Beast Coast is in the base. And Beast Coast looking to go 4-0 as they kick off week 4 of the SADPC. Having, just about secured the game as No Ping will strike the colors throw on the towel. It's official, Avo. The 2-0 win for Beast Coast.
Yep. I don't know what to say. I feel like this game kind of like they stopped playing halfway through. Oi. Okay. They just kind of. I didn't really feel like a game for No Ping, if I'm honest with you. It just felt like. Yeah, I just feel like Beast Coast started to steamroll them. They lost the plot really hard. What was that fight? No, it wasn't even the Roche fight. It was the Brewmaster Lion play, right? When they went into the triangle. Then they died there. It was a bad fight for them. Okay, that happens. No big deal. But instead of resetting mentally, they just completely lose it afterwards, right? They take a big risk on Roshan. Okay, kind of understandable. Then they die. Bad. And then like committing suicide. And then every single team from there has really bad execution. Granted, the troll is not the hero you execute on. You kind of press R and pray, and they control him really well. But also, you pick the troll, dude. Don't pick troll. I guess that's my winning take. Don't pick troll. Pick any other hero.
Yeah, it just feels really bad for No Ping because I felt like they came out of lanes in a really good position. You know, they had shut down C Smile. I think he had taken 3 deaths or something like that. He recovered pretty nicely in the jungle, to be honest. Like, looking at 15 minutes, he was already well ahead of the Invoker, as well as Monster. And speaking of Monster, much better game from him as well, finding a fast Ags, actually finding some relevance into the mid-game. But yeah, like you said, the one smoke play into the triangle, it was really what the tier 2 fight right after first Aegis, where they pop BKB on RDO's first life, they dive the tower, C-Smile, BKBs, and TPs. I mean, C-Smile has nothing, right? He's got BKB and treads. That's it. But he gets this big item out from RDO, and No Ping kind of just fall apart underneath the tier 2 tower, and the game just completely shatters from underneath them from there. Tough game. I actually thought they might have been able to make the troll work, but that was not the case here, Avo.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what our panel has to say as we go over to Avo Plus and the boys to analyze this game. Hello, guys. I feel like a true master here. I'm setting up the interview. I'm throwing to myself. What a host. What did you guys think of that game? I feel like Lyrical, you touched on this the first game, right? You said there's like 2 different games being played, or 3 last time. I felt something similar this time, except they inverted it, and where they played badly this time was kind of the late game rather than the early, which was what happened last time. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. And it just, I think, is a symptom of maybe a little bit of just the kind of problems that happened in the mid game. It felt like when this like sort of, you know, strong timing that they had didn't work out, when a couple of like things went poorly, it just all went downhill. Because like you guys were talking about, up until about that like 15-minute mark or something around that area, things were looking solid, and then you know, a couple of bad fights, it falls apart so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like they were mentally done. I think they should be in the control of this game, considering how the lanes went for them. Like before, I said I preferred their draft. I really like what they had, RDO got the first blood. I like his itemization, going for the Maelstrom into BKB to be fight ready. Play with IO, try to put some pressure out on the map. I gotta give credit to Monster, who played extremely well on the Brewmaster. I've been really impressed, like what he managed to do, especially how they laned together on the top lane, being able to like. Just the small things like get a kill, then Lion tanks the tower 5 minutes in with the first catapult. Yeah, just be able to like keep the catapult alive, and I think his itemization was also on point. Just rush the Aghanim Scepter, get the Eon Disc. It's hard once Sven gets this farmed, and I think this highlight here shows like they're done. Like I think K1's itemization was also on point, not going for any shenanigans, getting that Heaven's Halberd, and then like BKB, Lincoln Sphere. I really like that, especially because they were lacking a bit of a kiting potential, considering how badly Shadowfin got stomped in the lane. I felt like this is their go-to. Like I said, this is my favorite hero to kill. They've been killing him like 3 or 4 times on the mid lane, completely ruined him. They just could not keep the momentum.
Well, and it was sort of a bit of what we were talking about. Like this invoker sort of enabled so many of these other heroes to play together to find the kills, whether it was, Monster coming in and using the split to bring down the Shadow Fiend super low, or Theliocor who was making like the plays here, Finger, like all this stuff was working so well together in concert, and they did just keep on wrecking that Shadow Fiend. But then this timing happens, and when you find yourself in a situation where Schofield, I mean, I thought that it was going to be Whisper, but it ends up being, he ends up making so much more plays on Gojira here that like he is able to set up for a couple of big Sven hits once that BKB comes out, and like each of those fights become tough because not only was it like nice charges that came through onto several, but they'd also have situations where it was like 2 or 3 people caught in a static storm.
Yes.
And Disruptor also just, it punishes that so hard.
It was last pick Disruptor. I really liked it because it's great against a relocate type of a place, and they needed some kind of silence. They had very limited. They had like decent amount of stuns, Cookie, Sven, Spirit Breaker, Charge plus ulti, but it's not a burst damage unless Sven uses ulti on top of that. So one of the reasons why Brewmaster did so good, but it was a really good Disruptor game. That Static Storm to be able to silence the troll,
Right there.
silence the Brewmaster. Yeah, it's just like his positioning was really on point this game.
I also feel like I mean you praised Gojira last game, Gabe, on this Earthshaker. I think this game it was a very similar deal where his early game plays to create space were just incredible for Noping. I mean they didn't really know what to do against him, if they should chase and kill him or just leave him be and let him do his shenanigans. At one point he got away with murder in this game, in the early game.
Yeah, well, and I think that, a lot of the praise, it's interesting with Beast Coast, right? Like, depending upon what game it is, you're going to praise a different player. It feels like almost every time. And for a lot of last year, and I think still right now, it's definitely Whisper is getting, like, a lot of the praises. But I don't know. Gojira in a couple of these, like, he's looked like the player that is making the most happen at the most important points in these games. The pivotal, like, sort of turning points.
Yep.
Not to bring down anybody else, but I really feel like he's stepping up in a big way.
Nah, you guys just praise Stinger, you praise Gojira, the whole team looking great, and that's exactly why we gotta talk to a pivotal person in that team, which is the captain, right? Not about players sometimes, it's just about teams. And that's why we have Stinger, an exclusive interview here for the channel. So hopefully we can get him on any second now. There we go. Oh, look, there we go. ¿Qué tal, Stinger? ¿Cómo estás? Bien? Oh, I can't. Estás muteado, Stinger.
Ya, ahora sí,
Don't
ahora
worry,
sí.
guys. Ahí está. ¿Qué tal?
Sí.
¿Qué tal, Stinger? ¿Cómo estás?
Bravo, ¿qué tal? ¿Todo bien?
¿Qué tal?
Viendo los highlights y feliz. 2 puntos más.
Sí, ¿no? ¿Cómo te sientes sobre el juego?
Un poco molesto porque pensé que no iban a volver a piquear el Ayo. Dije, ok, ya lo pusimos a tu Ayo abajo. Pero no, ellos siguieron con la estrada de Ayo, ¿no? Y ya, pues, un poco molesto por eso. La verdad.
So I asked him how he feels. about the game, and he said that the IO, he was angry that they picked the IO again. He's like, "Oh, we already beat you before. Why are you picking the IO again?" Te quería preguntar, en la partida, cuando picaron el IO, ¿usaste la risa de la beba? ¿Eso fue a propósito? ¿Lo hiciste por el pick de IO?
Sí,
Muy bien. So the laugh that he used during the draft for the IO pick was 100% because of the IO pick. The panel was correct about that. Well done. Te quería preguntar, Stinger, tu equipo ha sido, esta temporada reinventáis, todos cambiáis de nombre, tú te pones XX Stinger XX. ¿Qué influencia ese cambio, Stinger?
Sí, tiene un significado, pero creo que
Yeah.
lo voy a mantener secreto por ahora. Tal vez lo contaré cuando más adelante, tal vez. Sí. Pero sí tiene un significado.
¿Hay algún tipo de vídeo, algo especial para ti, Stinger, que vamos a poder ver?
También, sí, hay un vídeo que va a salir que de hecho ya salió. Es un vídeo contra uno de mis causas, que mañana vamos a jugar contra Infamous, y en el vídeo salgo yo con Axel porque somos compañeros, no hemos jugado antes, somos amigos en la actualidad, y hay una rivalidad así, pues, ¿no? Picante, va a estar de pelos el juego de mañana.
Nice. So he talks about he talked about his name. I asked him about his name change. He says the name change has meaning. It's not just two X's, but you have to wait to find out. So if you give Stinger more time, he will reveal the truth behind his name. He does not have the introduction video just yet done, like C Smile or like Gojira got, but he has a video on the Beast Coast channel if you guys want to see, where he talks about his rivalry with Axel, Chompy as they call him. He is the captain for Infamous, and he's going to be playing them this week later as well. Super excited about that because they have a healthy rivalry / their friends. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on the Beast Coast YouTube. ¿Cómo sentís temporada Stinger con el equipo? ¿Sentís que habéis mejorado de los fallos del año pasado o sentís como que la DPC es igual?
No, me siento como que el equipo está más, se comprende mejor, como que todos seguimos una idea, aunque a veces sea, digamos, un troll, pero ya estamos volviendo a lo mismo, ¿no? Ya no tanto de ideas separadas, ni de sentir dudas en pleno juego, ¿no? Creo que eso es bueno. Y a lo que hacíamos antes también, de, no sé, probar con héroes, no sé, la Snap Off, por ejemplo, de Whisper, o el Tuscar Medio de Chris, héroes así que eso era parte de nosotros, y creo que un tiempo dejamos de hacerlo. Pero ahora lo estamos volviendo a hacer, así que bien.
He says that the team is back to in DPC. They do feel like they've improved. They feel like they're acting more as a team. They feel like they have ideas that are more like a team based. They're not having a bunch of different ideas together, but rather thinking together as five. And they also think that they've taken some of the magic of the old Beast Coast back, which is the odd picks that they used to have, the unique picks like the Whisper Snapfire, for example, and utilize them to their full potential. He feels like that's a big part of what Beast Coast used to be, and he feels like now that is coming back to the team. ¿Tenías algún objetivo tú como capitán para esta temporada? ¿Algo que querías hacer con el equipo? O sea, obviamente clasificar a la Major, ¿no? Pero quiero decir, como del equipo, alguna mejora que quieres hacer específicamente o algo que quieras conseguir.
Que en el tema, digamos, emocional, o sea, estemos a full y preparados para cualquier medio lo que hay, ¿no? O sea, porque sí, como que decía, ¿no? Mi equipo es fuerte y es muy probable que vayamos a la Major, pero la cosa es estar estables, ¿no? O sea, mentalmente, llegar sanos a la Major y más preparados que antes.
Stinger says the objective for the season was, in terms of Dota in general, was actually to be emotionally prepared. He says that, most people are probably expect them to go to the major after these leagues. The leagues are obstacle within themselves. They want to qualify. But they want to make sure that when they're going to majors in TI, that they're emotionally and mentally prepared, and they're working on that. ¿Hay algo que hagas específicamente para intentar mejorar eso? ¿Haces más charlas de capitán? ¿Algo especial que hagas para mejorar el estado emocional del equipo?
Sí, o sea, las vibras, ¿no? Antes de jugar, digamos, como que antes estaba yo un poco como que palteado, ¿no? Y no debería ser así porque soy el capitán. O sea, por los problemas que hubo, ¿no? O sea, como que no sentía tanta confianza. Pero ahora estoy volviendo a recuperarlo eso y me siento feliz por eso. Y también porque, pues, un psicólogo siempre ayuda, ¿no? Me parece que, buscar a alguien que dé también charlas motivacionales antes de cada juego, así como en el fútbol, por ejemplo, ¿no? O sea, eso es lo que yo pienso aplicar, es lo que estoy buscando ahora, ¿no?
He says that during the past year, he's felt a little bit uncomfortable with the team because they weren't having the best of seasons. They weren't having the best time. And in the beginning of the games, he felt a little bit embarrassed. He felt a little bit angry. He wasn't really the one that was initiating these speeches as a captain should. And as the season moves on, he feels much more confident in giving this team talks and setting the right mood, getting the good vibes, as he calls them, during the beginning of the game. And now he's actually even looking further into that by looking for a psychologist or some sort of person that like really lifts the mood to help him out during the up and coming season. ¿Creéis que la DPC os ha ido bien para volver a tener buenas vibras? ¿Ha sido un buen descanso para ustedes en cuanto a Dota después del TI y las majors y demás?
Sí, sí, aunque el sistema siempre nos parece algo lento, cansado, ¿no? O sea, tener que esperar un juego para el siguiente encuentro, pero sí. Y el tema es, ¿no? La Major, creo que nos falta ya un par de juegos y podemos decir que ya estamos en la Major y el tema de eso, ¿no? De estar bien preparados, como digo. Lo de psicológicamente y eso y lo que estoy buscando es para la Major.
I asked him about DPC, and he says he still dislikes the format. Let's not forget the format is garbage. You guys don't get to. I'm not saying this. He's saying this. That you only play one match a week. It's not great. You feel like it's super slow. It's not your goal as a Dota player. But that said, it's always a great training ground, obviously. And he's using this DPC to a degree to study for the next major, to be prepared emotionally and mentally. And he's learning a lot about that. And that's where his team's improvement is mainly coming out. Stinger, antes de irnos, algunas palabras para tus fans americanos, cualquier fan gringo que tengas, algo que quieras decirle.
Que si quieren pueden verme en stream, voy a estar en Trovo haciendo stream seguida. ¿Qué les puedo decir? Que voy a empezar a dar clases tal vez, no sé, en YouTube, o sea, de support. Y tal vez no solo de support, sino de todo lo que yo sé, porque es algo que he estado pensando mucho tiempo. Y ya voy a ir trabajándolo este año, ¿no? Pero sí, voy a tener un canal de YouTube, voy a estar dando mi punto de vista, digamos, de juegos o de héroes, de cómo lanear, cosas así. ¿Qué más? Nada, que espero que hayan disfrutado los juegos y que sigan apoyando el equipo, no solo a mí, y que vean el video en Viscos, pues, ¿no? En la página de Viscos, que ahí va a estar lo de mañana. Es como un tráiler, así de la rivalidad.
So I asked him if he has anything to his English fans. He says, watch me on Trovo, trovo.live/Stinger Dota. Watch his games. He's also planning to do a series, which is quite interesting. He wants to share his knowledge with people. He's making a YouTube channel where he's going to teach people how to play support and his ideas about the game, both like not necessarily hero guides, but more like a general concept about playing support and how it feels to play captain at a high level. That's very interesting. Always great when players want to do that. Por cierto, un inciso, si haces esos vídeos, llámame y te los traduzco para que los ingleses puedan escuchártelos, porque eso es súper útil. Anyway, I just told him I'm going to translate them because that's really useful. If you guys want to see those videos are honestly going to be top tier. Stinger knows a lot about Dota. And he's saying that also tomorrow you guys will get to watch the nice trailer we talked about earlier between his rivalry with Axel from Infamous. And if you guys are really hyped up for the Infamous versus Beast Coast match, that is definitely a trailer worth watching. You can watch it on the Beast Coast YouTube channel, and it's going to be really hype. Besides that, he says thanks for supporting the team, especially me, or says only me. And we'll see you guys next time. Stinger, muchas gracias por tu tiempo. Ha sido un placer como siempre. Cuídate, amigo. Nos vemos pronto. Venga.
Nos vemos.
Yeah, that's it. I always forget that when I say goodbye in Spanish. Our poor producer's like, what's happening? yeah, goodbye. Yeah. All right. Always nice talking to Stinger. Probably the only guy that you would consider being like a veteran of the SA scene that is actually like people listen to, right? He's 24, but they call him the old man there because that's old from SA Dota. Yeah, I know.
24 and he's old? Come on.
Yeah.
What about
you
us,
should see him. When he plays Dota, the joke I always make is I used to see him like rank together, and so Hector will stand behind him, and when he misses a last hit, he goes, "Oh, your hands are shaking. Oh, it's all the Parkinson's working on you." Like, dude, that guy's 24. It's not even close. Yeah, they're real brutal with him. But yeah, his perspective always really interesting. He's always been really concerned with psychological element, and he's one of the few SA guys kind of leading that movement of like, no, it's not just about Dota. The emotions are a big part of it. I always love hearing his perspective on that. So.
Totally. And I think it's good to have like a just sort of an open experience. It feels like he's very open about everything in a way, and the way he was talking about it. You don't always get that from players.
Yeah.
Definitely cool thing to hear.
Yeah, it's always nice to like have a bit of a deeper insight how like they think, like what's the way to play it, and like what's the team atmosphere and everything, and just it's nice. I think like Dota players are usually the ones who are very like, if you ask them, do you want to do any content? You want to do an interview? Nah, that's not for me. Like, please, just let me play the game, and that's it. Maybe if we win the whole tournament, then we'll give an interview. But I think Dota players over time got a bit more relaxed, so now they're giving like some really, really good interviews and insights about the team.
Mm-hmm. I also think SA, they've been kind of forced into that content creator role. Like most SA Dota pros are also streamers, right? Top streamers, like Schofield, Whisper, all of Beast Coast except for Ictor has a stream, and they have like good viewership and stuff. So it's more common in that scene to be like, when he told me about this idea to do content, I was like, that's, as you said, not an initiative you see from Dota players. You usually don't want to teach people how to play Dota, but it's something we're seeing more and more in SA. Where I always like to mention, Dota's still growing. It's the only region where it's actually actively gaining players. So you guys can create SA all you want, but in a few years, that's going to be all you can watch. So you better keep your mind open for that.
I'm excited.
Never gonna happen. This game is never gonna die. Trust me.
Thank you.
Like when we get bored of Dota 2, we're just gonna swap to Dota 3, Dota 4 maybe, because they don't know how to make games with 3 in the title. But maybe our kids will be still able to play Dota.
That's my goal. If my kid plays League, he's not my kid anymore. So
he's like definitely.
All right,
can't have my name. You gotta change the name. Like he's definitely not having my surname if he's playing League of Legends.
Call him our
what final thoughts would I get from the panel here from the games we saw today? That's Gabe or Lyrical. What would you like to say today about what you watched?
I think that I guess I don't want people to think that we were super rough on Beast Coast before, because I think that from that interview in particular, it seems like they recognize that these are flaws that they're trying to correct. And that's something that's really encouraging to me. And, you can have little flub ups here and there, but at the end of the day, they took care of business. It was a 2-0. I was impressed by the end of particularly game number 2. And, they're coming back off of a break. So I'm down to cut them a little bit of slack right there, but I want to see them keep it up.
Yeah, because they're 4-0 right now, as I expected them to be. This is a team that I just don't think about, South America. This is the team that I always think about competing at the international level and just playing the lands, playing the majors. So seeing them, do well is something that is expected. But as goes for Noping, had a bit of higher expectations coming into this DPC season. And so far, they've been a bit disappointing. I thought they're going to do better. But as you said, like this is something that they're going to rebuild. And it's much easier considering we have 3 seasons instead of 2 seasons. So you can decide to experiment a little bit more. You have more time and maybe just play for a 3rd major possibly. Well, we'll see what they can mix, what they can cook in the kitchen. Because right now, some stuff are working, but it feels like in the mid game, the decision making or how to close out the game, some things are still shaky, but definitely like a team to watch. And like if you're out there as a Dota player, like you can still learn a lot from a team like this, but also like try to follow them, try to follow their journey, because this is the team that can also have great success.
I have to see. I'm a big fan of long-term projects, something we don't see very often in Dota, which is why I like to hype up Noping. I think their coach has the right mentality. He thinks a year ahead, not a week, which was what most teams used to do, especially in SA. And hopefully they don't shuffle halfway through the season, because then that project obviously gets lost. We'll see if long-term it works out for them. For now, Beast Coast is dominating, and we'll continue to see them dominate later this week. If you guys enjoyed your fair share of SA Dota, we do recommend that you come and watch us tomorrow as well. We have wonderful SA Dota games, obviously sticking with Division 1. You guys are welcome to go and watch the Division 2 broadcast. The best way to watch us is to just follow the channel. We'll be online for both Division 1 and Division 2. But if you're only interested in the top SA plays, you get to watch Thunder Predator versus Apu King of Kings tomorrow. That's going to be at 4 a.m. my time. Is like 12 over the year in the US. In Peru, it's 3 p.m. 1800 CST, is it?
I believe so. Or,
Okay,
yeah,
I
Alright.
believe so. Yeah, I'm
Great,
European
fantastic.
time, but I'm also bouncing between NA and South America. Like we work a lot of regions, so
Yep.
yeah, kind of
Time-
hard to keep the track of everything.
That's why you just follow the channel. Times are hard to find out. Just follow the channel, get a notification when we go on live. We start with Thunder Predator, Apple King of Kings. Then we finish with Beast Coast versus Infamous. Do check out that little rivalry video if you have the time, because that's going to be pretty fun. Actually, the relationship between Axel and Stinger is very endearing, in addition to exciting to watch. It's like an old anime rivalry. But that said, guys, hope you enjoyed the broadcast today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then.
Bye bye.